Okay.
Yeah,
How you darn?
yeah.
How you
Here we
darn?
go.
What is poppin', people of YouTube?
Brand new loop just happened.
We are here, hopefully to help. I know it's a tough week, lots of injuries, lots of players on IR, injured or
Mm,
have bye weeks. We are
mm.
here to help. Hopefully, we get some more breaking news that will help us set lineups in the next, hour or so as well to help you. But here we are, doing our best to absolutely help you set the best
Right,
lineup that you
right.
can. What's your most difficult decision as we heading into this week? What's I can't remember if I asked you this before, but in our home leagues, what's the
Yeah.
most difficult call for you so far this week that you're trying to decide
Well,
between?
I have a couple. Difficult, options.
Hmm.
Right. So I am struggling right now with. Okay, Deshaun Watson's back, but do
Yep.
I start Deontay Johnson or do I start Elijah Moore? Do I
Mm,
start a Michael Wilson?
right.
Um, I feel like the answer is you start Deontay Johnson, but like, what type of value? Or like, well, what? I need a win. Let me tell you that
Yeah.
I need a win.
Right. I hear
And do
you.
I go with somebody that's going to get the targets, or Deontay Johnson that I'm hoping is going to get the targets?
Hmm.
It's tough. That's what I'm struggling with in my flex position right now. It
All
really
va-
helps that Deshaun Watson's back though.
yeah, all valid questions. I'm currently my biggest struggle is at my RB2 spot in the league. Tough with buys and injuries. I have to pick between Antonio Gibson, Craig Reynolds, or
Come
Cam
on, Craig.
Akers. Cam Akers. So
Oh, it's Cam. It's Cam. I mean, that's the
yeah,
X factor. Let me tell you something.
yeah, sure.
Superstar.
It's a tough one, but we're there right there with you guys in the thick of it. It's a tough week, but do us a favor as you're joining the stream, go ahead and smash that like button. Very simple way for you to help this channel grow, to help us reach the goals that we have. So again, hit that like button. We're going to answer your questions in return, and super chats will get answered straight away. They'll get prioritized. But the first question in order is from Akshay. Start one: Hunt, McLaughlin, Deonta Foreman, or Jeff Wilson. This is close between Kareem Hunt and Deonta Foreman. What I will say is now that Rashawn Johnson is confirmed out, I am going to lean Deonta Foreman myself.
Okay. I'm really interested in Jeff Wilson.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
get it.
sure if what is the actual goal with Jeff that he is going to play? He is
He'll
going to
play. He'll have a role.
be in
We
the
just don't
lineup
know what
here.
that means. And the only thing that concerns me with him is he doesn't have the speed of an A-Chain. He doesn't have the speed of a Mostert, So he's not
I hear
this
you.
guy who's
I
going to
hear
take
you.
a screen pass for 80 yards to the house. He's got to get involved specifically on the goal line, I'd say. So he's a little more concerning for me, but it's also Philadelphia. So tough
It's tough.
people to run against.
Yeah, I would say this. I feel like Foreman has a safer floor. Jeff Wilson has a higher upside. Either one of those guys, Mostert or Jeff, can get in the end zone in this week.
Yeah.
One of the most efficient offenses as well against quote unquote the best defenses.
Yeah.
Best defense.
It'll be a fun
So,
matchup.
it is going to be a fun matchup. I'm going to be going Jeff with that high upside.
Okay. Akshay says start one in the flex. Gibbs, Pittman, DJ Moore, Debo, Zach Evans. Debo's out. This
Debo
would
is
probably
out.
be Gibbs.
It'll probably be
I think it's Gibbs
me.
for me, yeah.
Yeah, it would be Gibbs for me here. I mean, not the easiest matchup coming
No.
into this week, but you have to expect him to get a significant workload.
Yeah.
To tomorrow.
Agreed.
Let's
And his
see.
last one, start 2 of 3. Devonta Smith, Flowers, Watson, Puka Nakua, Rasheed Rice. For me, start 2 of 3. I'm definitely starting Puka, and then I'll go Devonta Smith.
Yeah, that's exactly where I would go.
Definitely some risk with the hamstring. I think we have to reiterate to some people, we don't have a crystal ball, right? I mean, as crazy as it sounds, we feel like we're good at this, but there are times where we're gonna miss. We don't have a crystal ball. There's a reason they play the game. Certain things we won't be able to get 100%, but with the information that we have, the research that we've done, we're giving you the best answers to the questions that you guys are asking. So we answer your questions as if it was my team, what would I do? And if it was my team, I'd be starting Puka and Devonta Smith. Zane, start
Zane.
1. Debo's out. Pittman, Jacoby, McLaurin. This would be Jacoby for me.
Jacoby as well. I mean, how do you not start Jacoby against the Bears this week?
Yeah.
So I'm right there with you.
Yep. Shane.
Shane,
Go ahead.
Yeah, picked up Michael Mayer this week. Wondering if I should start him over Darren Waller since he plays the Bears. Also flex Brian Robinson. All right, let's start off there. Michael Mayer, Darren Waller. I feel like you have to continue to start Darren Waller. I
Yeah.
know, Daniel Jones is still not in, but you have to. I think you have to recognize that this Commanders team, even though they give up a lot of points to the wide receiver position, and doesn't necessarily reflect that to same in the tight end position, Darren Waller is still a force to be reckoned with. And we saw this offense prove to be a little bit better, at least last week.
Yeah, and they have
outside of the goal line.
They have a good matchup against the Commanders. I would lean Waller here, but it would not surprise me if Michael Mayer continues, especially against the Broncos, which is a very good matchup. Or is it Chicago? Sorry, Chicago.
Yeah, the Bears.
Remember, Logan Thomas had his biggest week against the Bears, so yeah. He says also flex Brian, Lockett, or Addison. This would be Tyler Lockett for me.
Yeah, this would be Tyler Lockett for me as well. Addison really close as well, but Tyler Lockett has an even better matchup coming into this week.
Yeah. Michael says, I'm desperate at quarterback this week. Stream Mayfield, Dobbs, Jones, Taylor. Mayfield, Dobbs, Jones, Taylor. It'd be Dobbs for me.
Yeah, it'd be Dobbs as well for me, going against the Seahawks. So he should be all right, I think, coming into this week. I would say you can really risk it to take it with Taylor, but I'm not confident in starting him. But you have to be in a really desperate, like if Mayfield and Dobbs weren't there, then obviously Jones. Chad, should I send JT and Nico for A-Chain? It will be next week because Breece Hall is on a bye. Do you think Breece Hall is better than A-Chain rest of season?
Yes, I'd rather have Breece Hall than A-Chain rest of season. I still like A-Chain, though. I would still consider him a top 10 running back rest of season easily. But no, sending Jonathan Taylor and Nico Collins for A-Chain is just giving up on Jonathan Taylor far too early, in my opinion.
That's a lot. Yeah, I think it's a lot. And I think in reality, you should get, if you are going to do this trade next week, your conversation should be A-Chain is on IR. I still need something in return. I need a player that I can start. That's the way I will be approaching this trade. Hopefully that helps, Chad.
Yeah.
Big M.
Just quickly, by the way, we have over 50 people watching the stream, only 15 likes. Can you guys do us a favor as we help you, as we answer your questions today and get your lineup set? Do us a favor and help the channel grow. So in return, all we ask is hit that like button. Such a simple way for you to help the channel grow. Can we get to at least 25? We're about 9 away. If everyone hits the like button now, we should be able to hit 50. That should be the realistic goal there. So, I mean, we're already at 27. So we're now less than 25 away from 50. Do us a favor, absolutely obliterate that like button for us. Just a simple way, again, for you to help this channel grow. Keep in mind, super chats get prioritized. They get answered straight away. Otherwise, we're going in order here. So the next question in order, like you mentioned, is from Big M. He says, what do y'all think? I get Ayuk, Madison, and Garrett Wilson, or London for T. Higgins, Amari, and Rashad? Ayuk, Madison, Garrett Wilson, or London for Higgins, Amari, Rashad. I would rather have the Ayuk side of this deal, and between Wilson and London, I'd rather have Wilson.
Yeah, this one's interesting. I think T and Amari, with the consistency they've not T, excuse me, but Amari.
Amari's not been real consistent, but that's been without Deshaun, to be fair.
That's been without Deshaun, and I think with Deshaun coming back, feeling better. I'm gonna rock with you though. I'm gonna go.
Look, it is close.
With Ayuk, Madison, but it is very close. Ayuk, Garrett Wilson, or London. Yeah, I mean, we expect T to be better. You expect Amari to bounce back with Rashad, or excuse me, with Deshaun. So we'll see what happens.
I would be shocked if Ayuk isn't a top 15 wide receiver this week, though. So, like, he's got to be in lineups. Elijah, what's up? Pirine, Wilson, or Reynolds? I go Wilson there, but that's a tough place to be in, man.
Completely agree. Cap for life, gentlemen. Do I drop Reynolds and pick up Henderson? I'm curious to know what you think here, because I know what I would do. I did. Yeah.
Earlier in the week, we talked about Zach Evans. He looked like the clear start. And we wanted to hear some more information from coaching and everything. We've only been more confused as the week goes on. There's only been more and more confusion. And if the goal from the Rams coaching staff was to get a competitive advantage over their opponent and give zero clarity, they've done that. With that being the case, if I were to start a Ram it would at this point. Now, look, a report could come out in 4 hours from now that says Darrell Henderson's a starter. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That would change everything. But we don't have that report yet. If I was to start a Ram, it would be Zach Evans. However, I am more in the camp of most people have a better option than starting a Ram this week. That's where I'm currently sitting. So I would be willing to drop Reynolds and pick up Henderson because there's a chance that he takes over that role for the period of this IR. But I'm not really willing to start those guys, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I understand. I bought Henderson in this high upside video. I'm thinking of a high upside as maybe like 9 to 10 carries for maybe 20 yards,
Sure.
but having 2 touchdowns. Right, I think when he gets into that goal line opportunity, Henderson, what we do know, is not in football shape. He's coming, he was coming from Chili's and saying, all right, I can start right now, but he can easily find the end zone, in my opinion, coming into this week, as the Rams have been pretty good in moving the ball down the field.
You're saying my guy was at Chili's bar during happy hour getting a Dollarita down his throat, and then the Rams. Hey, this is Sean. You want to come play football this week?
That's exactly what. Okay. And he asked Coach. He was like, you want wings? You want the boneless wings, Coach? Because I bring it through. And that's
Chili's Triple Dippers. Anyway, it's confusing in LA. It is.
It is confusing in LA, and it doesn't help now that Kyron is on IR, unfortunately. So it's going to be a mix of emotions for the next couple of weeks.
No head coach will ever watch this stream, but can you please just, if you don't know, don't tell us. Don't tell us, oh, it'll probably be back next week. He's on the IR. Season ender, Hey, it's not a season ender, but you know what I mean. Chad says, I am 4-2. Should I trade A.J. Brown in a smaller piece for Jay Jettas next week if I win this week? No, I mean, at this point, I think A.J. Brown and Justin Jefferson should be valued similarly. And we know that A.J. Brown is healthy. He says also, should the smaller piece be Nico Collins? See, those aren't smaller pieces to me. Those are all startable options, so I would say no.
No way.
But if you can move like a Hollywood next week or a Jacoby plus a Nico or something for Justin, yeah, absolutely. Yes, Debo is out 2 to 3 weeks. We did hear that. So get him out of your lineups, guys. Do I trade Kittle and Barkley for Eckler? I'm fine with that if you have a good backup tight end, but I do believe
who's your tight end?
Kittle will be a top 12 guy. I know that's not high expectations, but like while Debo's out, he'll be a good starting tight end. So
yeah, I completely agree. He will be better, and Debo does have a bye week in week 9, so I expect him to miss week 7 and 8.
Yes.
Come back after the bye week. So it all depends on that tight end calf last, but I'm right there by your side here. Tyler, Sam Howell, Matthew Stafford. I'm going Sam Howell this week. Sam Howell, but Matthew Stafford, very, very close.
Yeah.
Should I start Amari Cooper or Hollywood Brown? I'm going to Amari Cooper this week based off this matchup.
Look, they're both.
Deshaun Watson coming back as well.
They're both fantastic options. As I'm going to update my rankings and release an update after this stream for the Flock Fantasy people. Mm-hmm. They're back to back. They're back to back in my rankings. I don't have a strong opinion either way. What I will say is I feel more confident in the Seahawks scoring on the Cardinals and them needing to throw the ball than the Colts scoring on the Browns and them needing to throw the ball. So I would slightly lean Hollywood, but it's very close between those two.
Yeah. I'm right there.
Sweet T says, what is the Rams depth chart at running back? It's a treasure map right now, my man. It's a treasure map. No one knows exactly. It's a fugazi. No idea. CJ says, hey guys, I've watched your content this week and you are really high on Aaron Jones, but he's questionable. If he does play, who do I sit for him? I have Puka, Waddle, Zay. Other running backs are Etienne and Saquon. I would play, if he plays, I'm playing him over Saquon. I'll just start there. But I think Saquon should be in your lineup. So if you're telling me that Zay, Waddle, and Puka are options where I could swap one of those guys out for Aaron, it would be Zay. I would start Aaron Jones over Zay Flowers. Yes, very high on him. He has the best matchup. And guys, think about it. The last time Aaron Jones played was and he was healthy, was week 1. He played less than 50% of the snaps, and he finished the week as the RB1 in fantasy football. No, there's been this narrative thrown around some of the comments on our videos. Aaron Jones is dust. He's awful. He can't be someone you start because he's over 28. That's someone said that. It's like, guys, we know Aaron Jones is still a top 12 fantasy running back when he's healthy. He just hasn't been healthy. You know, don't let recency bias put you in that corner. So, look, if and everything is contextual. If a report comes out, Aaron Jones to be on a snap count, that is what you need to hear to sit him. If Aaron Jones is not on a snap count, you play him. So, yeah, that's how I'm approaching it.
No, I completely agree. I would say this: I am starting Saquon over Aaron Jones, but I think it just depends on how you feel, and if you want to start Aaron Jones or Saquon. But I think both are going to be great starts. I do believe Aaron Jones has the best matchup, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Against the running backs.
It's impossible to have a better matchup.
Versus the Denver Broncos, and we've seen how people have been successful against the Broncos. I mean, you've seen Pacheco. You've seen what the Alexander Madisons, if I'm not mistaken. I think he went against the Broncos as well.
Obviously, we know what the Dolphins running backs did against them. Brian Robinson had his career high against them.
Exactly. So if you start him, if he plays, you start him. It's really hard to sit him. Manny, pick one. Foreman, McLaughlin, AJ Dillon. I'm going Deontay Foreman this week. That feels like a smash start out of these guys personally.
I agree. The scenario here for me is if AJ Dillon is a starter. If Jones doesn't play, I will go AJ Dillon in that matchup.
Okay. Fair.
E. Galarza says start Goff or Watson.
I'm going Deshaun Watson.
And now that he's playing, I need to consider where I'm ranking him now.
Goff, I mean, he's playing the Ravens. Technically, the Ravens, oddly enough, right now give up the least amount of points to the quarterback position. And
oh man,
the Colts give up the 8th most points.
I'm still rocking with Jared just because there is no Monty here. Craig Reynolds is injured. I don't think the game plan is let's give Gibbs, the exact Monty role. I could be wrong because he's not going to be as effective. So they might be put in a scenario where Laporta is healthy, Amon-Ra is healthy, Jameson is healthy. Let's throw the ball around a little bit more. I'm going to go Goff, but it's tough there. It's if Watson had been healthy for multiple weeks, it would be easier decision. But
I hear you. All right. Going to Brandon, Zach Evans, Mason, McLaughlin, Murray, or free agent. Who the hell to start? I think there's so many different scenarios here. I think if CMC doesn't start, I feel like Mason is the easy go-to in my opinion. Then it is Zach Evans, then Latavius Murray, then McLaughlin for me. That's how I would order that.
For me, we're different here. McLaughlin is my number one here. I think the juice that he's shown, he's one of those guys where they're going to use him creatively in the screen game. He's got some speed. I think they're drawing up plays for him now, which is interesting. And the Packers is actually a very good matchup for running back so far in fantasy. I don't know what Evans' role will be. I think CMC plays. So McLaughlin's my number one of those options.
Okay. All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
Stop and go. Sports PR. Jameson Williams or Pickens?
Pickens for me.
Pickens for me. Addy.
But it's a fair question. It is.
Look, it is a fair question. I mean, it feels like Pickens has the safer floor coming in.
Yes.
With these targets. Do you guys prefer Rachaad White or Madison or Sutton for flex this week? I was leaning White, but his efficiency worries me.
It's a great question. I mean, Rachaad White, against the Atlanta Falcons is because of how few running backs you can trust this week. He's my RB17. That doesn't mean I'm excited to start Rachaad White. Whereas I look at Madison versus the Niners, I would argue that's maybe a worse situation. But then we know Sutton, of course, is playing the Packers. He could get the Jaire Alexander treatment.
Man, these are all tough matchups.
It's White if I have to choose an option, but I don't like it.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I would lean. White's playing at home. It's a divisional game. Anything can happen in these divisional games in the South. So
yeah,
I'm gonna go Rachaad White there as well. Gator fan, how you doing, man? He says start 2, need a running back and a flex. Osborne, JT, Dobbs, Brian Robinson. I think you start JT there personally. I think
and
Brian Robinson against the Giants. A great matchup for both, or not for both, but for Brian Robinson really. Aquamarine, Christian Watson or T. Higgins in Dynasty. I think we both go T. Higgins long term, regardless.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfair to Watson because, we haven't really seen him completely healthy, but I would go T for sure.
Yeah, and then Jameson Williams and JSN. I think we would both go. This one's really close. I would say closer than people think, but I'm going JSN.
For me, I love Jameson Williams, but it's not close for me. It's JSN by multiple tiers.
Okay.
Like I would separate them by multiple.
That's what I'm
tiers.
saying. I said a lot of people think this will be close, but
Yeah.
for it would be JSN. Yeah.
No, I hear you.
Steven PPR. Who would be a better stash, Royce Freeman, Henderson, or Jeff Wilson? Jeff Wilson, Henderson, and in that order, I would say for the both of us potentially.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you there. By the way, over 100 people watching the stream. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, guys. We're doing our absolute best to help you set your best lineups. In return, just do us a favor. Go ahead and smash that like button. Currently under 50. Can we get to 75? With the amount of people watching, the math checks out. Do us a favor. Be a friend. Hit that like button for us right now. Keep in mind, super chats will get answered straight away. Otherwise, we are going in order from top to bottom. So, and the last thing I'll say is if you're putting your question in multiple times, you might get muted. So keep that in mind, okay? We're going in order. Midnight 201 says, start one, full PPR, Moss, Hollywood. This is Hollywood for me.
Yeah, it is Hollywood for me as well. All right, the Washington boys are really close, I would say. Steven PPR, what would you go for T. Higgins, Godwin, or Lockett? I would give up Chris Godwin away to acquire T. Higgins. I think Lockett could have those boomer bust games that I think I would rather lean on a little bit more.
Yeah, I think Godwin's upside is going to be significantly limited unless Evans is out.
I hear you. Frank, Josh Allen or Tua and Devonta. Sorry, Josh Allen for Tua and Devonta Smith.
Yeah,
in a one quarterback league, I'm happy. I'm 100% happy with this. Isaac, Najee, Warren, or McLaughlin, full PPR. This is where I think I would lean McLaughlin.
Okay.
I feel a lot more confident in McLaughlin's usage, and him actually being, it's going to be like, okay, is it going to be Najee or Warren? Sure. I think you can guarantee a good 50 to 40% for McLaughlin, and it feels like he can find that end zone, just like you said, against the Green Bay Packers, who do give up a lot of points to the running back position here, and he was a high upside play for me coming into this week.
I think Jaleel and Warren are both fine options this week. Jaleel has the better matchup. I think Warren is a safer play, though, so it depends on how you're going to play this. Warren's actually the RB 29 on the year, and he's already had his bye week. So, if you average that out, he's probably more around RB 25 or so when everyone's bye weeks are done. He's been fine. He's had 3 games out of 5 over 10 points. McLaughlin's been a little more flash in the pan, but the upside's been higher. So it really depends on how you're wanting to play this week. You want upside or you want safety? Warren's a safety, McLaughlin's the upside. Hopefully that helps. Patrick Mahomey says, what's up, guys? Do I start McLaurin or Dobbs this week? This would be McLaurin for me. What about you?
Yeah, it would be Terry for me as well. He always does great against the Giants.
Yeah. Deontay or Judy this week? I'm going Deontay. I think there's a good chance that they feature Deontay coming back from injury.
I'm going Deontay as well. Jerry Jeudy hasn't really given you the confidence coming in so far throughout this season, so I don't know. Let's turn over a new leaf with Deontay.
And maybe this is the week that Jeudy regains confidence of fantasy owners, but we need to wait for that week to happen. What's up, Lakers? He says, how you boys doing? No questions. Have a good night. Hey, hope you have a fantastic night too.
Bowl is good, brother. You must be loving it here. 3-3 for the Commanders. Sam Howell, huh?
Yeah, we'll just barely miss the playoffs and be very middle of the draft, like every year. Also, Brandon says, Addison, Godwin, or Zach Moss. This would be Addison for me. Addison or Godwin. I'm
going Addison this week.
I think I'm going Godwin this week.
Okay, it's a tough matchup, but give me Addison.
Okay, it is close. The boy. What's up, the boy?
The boy.
It's Drizzy. Should I start Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts this week? And don't ask why I have both. Honestly, having both is genuinely, that is a curse. Because each week you're going to get it wrong. Like, more times than not, you will get this question wrong. Because guess what? Guess who's my quarterback 1 this week? Jalen Hurts. Guess who's my quarterback 2 this week? Josh Allen. Every week you're getting this one wrong. Like, maybe you made a trade, but you kind of put yourself in purgatory here. You need to find a way to get value for one of these guys.
Yeah, I mean, let's really break it down. I think they're both 1 and 2 as well this year. You can't close your eyes. I don't think there's a wrong answer, brother.
Yeah, I like the matchup.
I think that's the best.
The only reason I'm going Hurts is because it's the highest over-under of the week. That's where we expect the most points to come from. Vegas is smarter than us typically.
Normally. Deshaun Watson or Howell, I would be going Watson personally.
I'm going Howell this week. Russell Wilson or Howell, I'm going Howell.
Yep, I would agree there with you.
Andrea, what's up? By the way, we do have a super chat, so let's get to that straight away. Thank you, Colin, for the donation. We do prioritize those donation questions. Full PPR, Wandale or JSN?
Wow.
You know, this is a good question because I've said this multiple times on the stream. One of those Seahawks wide receivers will go off this week. One of them will absolutely blow up. I don't know if it's DK. I don't know if it's Lockett. It feels like a Lockett game. It really does. But
have you heard of DK's questionable status coming in? He's a game time decision.
I think he'll play through it. He has been playing through those injuries. We'll see. But, I mean, JSN could also absolutely go off because we know that they are really struggling in their secondary. Both of their starting slot wide receiver is out. Their backup slot wide receiver is also out this week. JSN could have a field day. This could be JSN's welcome party to the NFL. However, I know there is less competition for Wandale in New York. So with a great matchup, they both have those. Less competition for Wandale. We've already seen him go over the 16-point mark last week versus a tougher defense in Buffalo. This would be Wandale for me. It's very close, but it's Wandale for me here.
Yeah, and I completely agree. It was going to be Wandale. JSN does have a good upside play coming into this week. He was in my video that I released earlier today for you guys. There's going to be opportunity for Jackson, and I would say this. How about this? If DK doesn't play, are you still going Wandale?
No way. If DK doesn't play,
exactly.
Like, just because of my love for JSN, it could be the wrong call, but I will ignorantly put him in all my lineups just for fun.
And that's the thing. That's the thing for me, because if DK doesn't play, I think I would highly consider starting Jackson Smith over Wandale. So hopefully that helps. Thank you so much for the super chat, Colin.
By the way, currently over 120 people watching. Can you guys do us a massive favor? Go ahead and hit that like button. Such a simple way for you to help this channel grow. We're going to help you out by answering your questions. In return, all we ask is that you drop a like and help the channel grow. Can we get to 75? We're currently 10 likes away from 75. So go ahead and do that. You are actively helping the channel grow when you physically hit that like button. It tells YouTube that you like the content. So we appreciate y'all. We're answering questions in order from top to bottom. The only time we go out of order is if there's a super chat. Carlos, any thoughts on how Deontay will perform against the Rams? Not a good matchup. We have seen that young secondary really step up this year. They've maybe been like the biggest surprise of any secondary is the Rams secondary.
They've been great.
After losing Jalen Ramsey, you felt, okay, this team is going to struggle heavily against pass. That's not been the case. I think he'll have enough targets to be a fine start. But I don't know that there's like a 25-point ceiling there. I think it's more of like a 17-point ceiling. But more realistically, 10 to 13 points to 12.
Completely agree. Andrea, need one flex. Terry, Watson, Smith, Mostert. I think we both agree will be Smith for us.
Yeah.
Coming into this week.
Oh, Mostert. Actually, it'll be Mostert. Sorry.
Okay, it'll be Devonta Smith for me, but I understand why Mostert could be there. Cesar, flex one PPR, DJ Moore, Gibbs, or Brian Robinson. Wow.
Gibbs for me. It is close. DJ could be the play, and we could be overthinking it. I just don't know if you want to trust the old teabag over there in Chicago.
I mean, I'm even thinking Brian Robinson as well against a bad Giants run defense, to be completely honest.
Yeah, it is close between those. I just know the last time Monty didn't play and Gibbs was healthy, he got like over 20 touches.
Targets.
And we know that there's no real competition for him, I guess. It's close.
Yeah, with big old Craig. I would agree there. All these guys are closer than you think, Cesar. We did just get a super chat. Thank you so much. We got two. We got one from Clyde. Does he have one in the bottom?
He's got a question right below, so we'll answer his straight away. Go ahead.
Yeah, he said Aaron Jones or A.J. Dillon. I think we all know if Aaron Jones plays, you start him.
Agreed.
No question about it.
Now, If he's on a snap count, though.
If the report comes out he's staying on the snap count,
Mhm.
I think there are better options than AJ Dillon, though.
Yes, but if he's on a snap count and it says he's drastically limited, I'll go Dillon. But even if it's like he'll get 50% of the work, I'll still go Jones. Hopefully that's helpful. Ronald, thank you for the donation, man. We'll get to your question straight away. He says, what are your thoughts on trading CMC and what a trade would look like for you, I guess? Like, I think he's saying like trading away CMC. I would not be trading CMC away. This is, it's like, would you trade Tyreek Hill away right now? Probably not.
Yeah,
you know?
no, he's a pillar. I mean, CMC is somebody that you're giving up. What is it? What is he averaging right now? 23 plus points.
Well, let's look before last week when he was injured. But go ahead. I'll look.
He's averaging, as of right now, as of what I'm seeing right now, 24.7 fantasy points per game.
Crazy.
The closest one right behind him is Raheem. The one after that is 19 points. What's that? Nearly 5 points. He's averaging more than almost every other running back.
So before he was injured in last week's game, he was averaging almost 27 points per game.
That's wild. That is wild.
It's
I mean,
for me, there's not a scenario where I trade Christian McCaffrey away. And I would go on a ledge and say, if you have had McCaffrey so far this year, you're not in a desperate position. Like your team has won plenty of games to wait for him to come back, and he might even play this week. You know, what if you trade him away and he puts up 30 points against the Vikings? You're like, what the hell did I do?
And this is kind of a good time, oddly enough, for this Rams team to kind of put him in a rest mode to get ready for the second half.
49ers, I guess?
Yeah, sorry, the 49ers to go into the second half of the season. You know, you have 2 weeks before the bye. If he does miss the next 3 games, hypothetically, I think you'll still be in a position, like Zach said, to come back and compete and then push for the playoffs. But look, if you are willing to trade him, you need a haul, an absolute haul. I want big money. I want Tyreek Hill. That's really it.
Yeah, I want Justin Jefferson and David Montgomery.
Something big. You know? It has to be big, you know? Yeah, I mean, Stephon Diggs and more. I don't know, maybe in a super flex league, you know, maybe you bump up to a number 1 quarterback and more. Like, there's so many different ways.
Let's put a percentage on the chance you think McCaffrey plays this week. I would put it at 65%.
You know, I'm right there with you. I was gonna say 60%.
Okay.
Everything is trending in the right direction for CMC currently right now. He was limited in practice. He's questionable right now.
Yeah.
And from all the reports, it's trending in the right direction.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll wait and see.
Thank you so much for the donation, Ronald. Really appreciate you, man. The next donation that we'll get to here, because we prioritize those super chats, is from Bay Diamonds. What's good, fellas? What's up, man? Super flex, Wilson, Dobbs, Pickett. Which 2 starting? Be careful.
Be careful.
This is a tough one. If it was me, it would be Russell Wilson and Joshua Dobbs. I don't really have much confidence in Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
So that would be my 2.
Against the Rams.
Obviously, we know like he's been dealing with that injury, but this is just not a player you've been excited to put in your lineup, except for maybe 1 week.
Barely.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's Wilson and Dobbs there. This is a big week, I would say. These next 3 weeks are pretty big for Kenny. If he can come back and perform better in this bye week, and we can see what this looks like, especially getting Deontay back. But yeah, thank you so much for that super chat, Wilson and Dobbs, for us.
Really appreciate you. By the way, we are 23 likes away from 100, the century mark, which is our goal. There's 130 of you watching. Do us a favor, go ahead and obliterate that like button for us. It's just a very simple way for you to help this channel grow. As we help you set your lineups and help you hopefully win your week, you can help the channel grow just by dropping a like. 20 likes away from 100. Help us get there by simply hitting that like button. Super chats get answered straight away. Otherwise, we're going in order. And the next question in order is from Sets. It says, Wilson or Foreman at RB2. Also pick 2. So let's start there. Jeff Wilson, I'm assuming, and Deonta Foreman. This would be very close. It's Deonta Foreman for me.
Yeah, I would be going Jeff Wilson here. If Jeff plays and which it looks like he is, I feel like that opportunity for him to get the ball, especially with that high over under, I think you can see him find the end zone at least once.
Yeah. Also, pick 2 flex,
Mhm.
Cooper, Kittle, Deontay. This would be Cooper and Deontay, I think, for me.
This would be Cooper and Kittle
Really?
for
Okay.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It makes sense.
With Debo, with Debo missing time, I'm a big anti-Kittle fan when they're all on the field. But when somebody in this offense misses, even if Christian McCaffrey is questionable or limited, which we kind of saw against the Giants on Thursday night, where CMC didn't have a crazy percentage of snaps, and then Kittle was getting those opportunities.
What if I told you that while Debo's been dealing with that injury for the last 3 weeks, George Kittle has averaged less than 2.5 targets a game?
Yeah. I don't have anything to counteract that.
It's tough. Look, all I'm saying is I think there is bigger risk in starting Kittle than Deontay. Now, clearly, Kittle has higher upside. We've seen him score 27 points this year. But I think there's more risk in starting him than Deontay. So it's very close. I'm going Cooper and Deontay, but I understand why someone would go Cooper and Kittle there.
Yeah.
Adam says Pacheco or Hall rest of season. This would be Breece Hall for both of us, I'd say.
Yes.
And should I drop Jeff Wilson for Henderson or Zach Evans? No, I'd keep Jeff.
Yeah, I'm keeping Jeff as well.
Logan Thomas or Luke Musgrave? Very good question. Both have great matchups. It is Luke Musgrave for me, but back to back in my rankings.
For me as well. Yeah, it'll be Luke Musgrave for me, but Logan Thomas, very good matchup against my beloved
Roberto
Giants.
says, shake my head. Hendo was actually working out and in grape shake. Roberto, it's a joke, my man. It's a joke.
No.
Come on,
he was
have some
working
fun.
out and then going to Chili's and then working out again.
Lighten up, my guy. Stuff with
Saquon.
James says Saquon or DeAndre Swift full PPR. I'm going Swift. It's
How
that
can you not go-
matchup I want to be a part of.
How can you not go Swifty? But Saquon getting those touches and opportunities last week, looking better. Reese,
Yeah.
Raiders, Packers, Seahawks, or Bucks D. For me, it would be.
He has LA.
Oh, you have LA. For me, it would be Seahawks and then Raiders. That's what I would say. Seahawks and Raiders. Those are the 2 I would go with.
Raiders would be my number 1 there, yeah, with the old teabag starting. Pump
Good
and
old
dump.
Good old Baggett.
Yeah, says pick 2 for
Pump and dump.
these for flex,
Gosh.
please. Judy Reynolds Downs. This would be Judy and Downs for me.
Downs. Yeah, agreed.
Baby, are you Downs? Lucas.
Lucas, hold on to Kyron or James Conner.
Hold or trade Kyron and James Conner.
All right, hold or trade.
They'd be holds
I mean,
for me.
Yeah, I don't know what type of value you can get for both from those guys right now that they're both on IR. Personally, James Conner, 2 weeks out of coming back now? So
I'd say like the better question is tell us what offers you can get for them and let us know and we can help you out there. Sorry, that might have even been racist. Who knows? Drake London, Jordan Addison, Curtis Samuel, Tyler Lockett. Start 2, sit 2. All right, we're starting 2. That would be Lockett and London for me. But they're all great options. It'd be Lockett
these are
and
all
London
great
for me.
options. For me, it would be Lockett and Addison. But very, very close.
Okay. Watson or Howell, failure says. This would be
I said
Howell for
Watson.
me. It'd be Watson for you. Tyranol, what's up, man? Ford or Godwin in the flex? Oof. That is a tough question.
Ford has a great matchup against the Colts this week.
Ford does have a great matchup. I do like him as one of those, if you have him and you got a bunch of injuries, he's a fine start. But I'm going Godwin. I think Godwin has the higher upside.
Do we trust Godwin? I mean, I know he had 2 good games. One was when Mike Evans went down. When Mike Evans came back.
I trust him as much as I trust Ford.
Okay. And that's why I would go Ford here.
You could start Ford and it could be Kareem Hunt.
You could. Yeah, 100%. I'm going based on matchup. In my opinion, I will be going Jerome Ford, going against the Colts, who currently give it the 11th most points. versus the Falcons, who currently give up, if I'm not mistaken, quick math was that fifth least amount of points to the wide receiver position. Anything can happen.
Yeah,
there,
I mean,
Tyler.
to be fair, Godwin went up against the Saints. Saints are good, are pretty damn good defense against wide receivers. So is Detroit. Over 13 points in both of those matchups, but it is a very close call, and I can understand why someone would go either way. Hey guys, over 160 people watching. That is incredible. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We are answering your Week 7 start sits. Do us a favor. Please go ahead and smash that like button for us. Can we reach an all-time new goal? New like record, maybe. I don't even know. What is a like record? Can you... I don't actually know what it is, but we are currently 13 away from 100. So if you have yet to hit the like button, go ahead and absolutely smash that thing. Abuse it. Take out all your anger on the like button.
Yeah, smack it.
And then see a counselor, because you may need to see one. But we're going to answer all your questions in order. The only time we go out of order is if there's a super chat. And the next one in order is from Iceberg. He says, "What's up, gents? Start Kirk Cousins or Howell?" Kirk Thuggins, I do not want to start this week. What about you?
No. Sam Howell for me.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Failure's no option. If Jones doesn't play, pick a flex. Addison, Wilson, Lockett. If Jones doesn't play, pick a flex. Addison,
this would be
Wilson,
Tyler
Lockett. Yes, this would be
Tyler
Lockett for me as well. Love the matchup. Gavin says, "Please help me. We'll try our best here, my man. I lost Kyron.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, lost Kyron in 2 leagues. Missed out on Evans in 1, but got him in the other. Is Darrell worth picking up, or do I grab someone like Keontae, Kareem, or Logan?" So the name that instantly stood out to me is Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt is the one I would be looking at picking up and starting this week. I would start him over Zach Evans. I would start him over Keontae Ingram. So yeah, it is very much Russian roulette this week, but that would be my choice. You as well?
Yeah, completely agree. It will be Kareem, and then honestly, I will probably spin the wheel there with Henderson after that potentially. But
yeah,
hopefully that helps there, Gavin. Good to see you, brother. We did just get a super chat.
Yeah, let's get to that straight away. Thank you for the donation.
So much.
He says, "Not sure if y'all have gone over this, but which Rams running back would you guys want since Kyron's out?" We've talked about this a little bit. I'll say this. I wholeheartedly believe, as a Zach Evans lover, I love that guy. I loved watching that guy out of TCU. Loved watching him in Ole Miss. I think he's a talented running back, okay? I think what is the issue is he's not good in pass pro, and that's what I think they're more concerned about than anything. What I will say, as someone who loves him, I don't feel comfortable starting a Rams running back unless it truly is my absolute best option. I think 90% of people will probably have a better option available on the roster or someone that they could stream. So if I had to choose right now, and I think we'll get clarity type, but if I had to choose right now, I would choose Evans to start, but it could be Henderson. It could be Gaskin. It could be Royce Freeman. It's truly, we have no idea. The coaching comments have not been clear. They haven't given us any real useful information at this point. So look, if
can't really trust them either.
It's very hard to trust. So if it were me, I would say 90% of people have a better option than a Rams running back. However, if I had to choose one, it would be Evans. Now, last thing I'll say is there's very realistic possibility that there's a report that comes out in the next 4 or 5 hours that says this running back is going to be the starter this week. That's all I need in a difficult week if that's my best option to start that guy, you know? So.
Look, this is what I would say. I personally think from what we've known the history is that Sean McVay trusts in Henderson. Henderson doesn't have to pick up the playbook. He doesn't have to learn the new plays. He doesn't have to do anything. Not that Zach Evans has to do that, but I'm more thinking
he also was the coach who cut him.
Oh, 100%. And yeah, Saturn for Cam Makers cut him and said, "Thank you so much." And then he went to Chili's. Look, basically the way I'm seeing it is like, who's going to give me the most fantasy points? And oddly enough, I actually believe that's Henderson, because I can see him when this offense gets into that red zone area, you know, in the 10, within the 5, I can see Henderson punching the ball in for a touchdown. Where Zach Evans could be the pass catching back. Like, it just depends on, I think, what narrative you believe in a little bit more. But this week is kind of a close your eyes and hope for the best type of scenario, with over 17 running backs missing this week with injuries and bye weeks. So Good luck, brother.
Not
Good
fun
luck.
at all. Hopefully that is helpful. Thank you so much for the donation there, my man. Buddy is the next one. What's up, Buddy? Zay Flowers or Deontay? I'm going Zay Zay.
Yeah, give me Zaza.
Gator says, system won't let me put Rashawn in the IR slot, unfortunately. Who would you drop going forward? I mean, first thing I would do is talk to the commissioner, because you should be able to put him, if out is allowed in your leagues, you should be able to put him in the IR. But Hubbard, Sanders, Rashawn, or Elijah Mitchell, like, you really shouldn't drop any of these players, honestly. It would be a shame to drop one of them. But if I had to, I guess Elijah Mitchell, because I think CMC is going to play.
Yeah, and I think that's where I was gonna go to. If CMC plays, you drop Mitchell.
But I'm not doing that until like the very last second. Like, I'm not doing it now so you can clear waivers for someone to pick him up, you know? Like,
Well,
I'm doing it at the
because
very last minute.
CMC plays on Monday night, so we may not know until game time or something. So that sucks for you, Gator fan. Hopefully that helps. Muhammad, half PPR, 9 tight end premium, pick 3. Dallas Goedert, JSN, Javonte, Najee, Dotson, Mims. So I think for me, tight end premium, you start Dallas Goedert. I think Javonte Williams would be my second best option for you there. And then it's between, I think you go high upside play. And I feel like low floor type of play. And I think JSN has the safest floor outside of Najee and Jahan Dotson and Marvin Mims.
Yeah, big fan of Dallas this week. He definitely would be in there for me. Love that game. Love the potential shootout. Highest over-under of the week. Javonte and JSN. Yeah, so I'll go JSN. I think this could be a good week for him. He has another one. He says JMO this week or Tutu. If you need upside, I'll go Jameson. I'd be willing to throw Jameson in there.
Yeah, give me Jameson as well.
And then Mohammed says, I'm thinking more JMO since no run game. Yes, that would be the thought for us as well. Exactly. It makes sense. E. Galarza, what's up? Is Metcalf playing? If not, should I pick up JSN? Well, I'll say this. In any 10 or 12-man league, JSN should be rostered. I don't think he should be available. But if you have a free player that you can drop to pick up JSN, then yeah, it's worth doing it. I do think Metcalf plays, though. We'll find out soon.
Yeah, big game time decision.
Jeff says, I'm in a must-start 2-quarterback league. My quarterbacks stink. Geno, Dobbs. Daniel Jones. I was offered Kyler Murray for A.J. Brown. No, look, I love Kyler Murray. I've been talking him up on our Dynasty channel all offseason as a great buy. I talked about him in multiple stash videos in the last couple weeks, but I wouldn't be doing this. No, that's silly. No, it's that's a silly deal to make. So
we don't even know when Kyler's going to come back. I know he's trending in the right direction.
Yeah.
But what if they say, we're happy to just let him sit on the bench this year?
I think he plays next week. I think he plays next week, but still, A.J. Brown is more valuable, even in Superflex or 2-quarterback. Aluminophobia? Is that like you're afraid of aluminum? Could that be what that is?
Aluminum phobia. Sorry if that is a true thing and you are struggling with that. I mean,
maybe they're raising awareness.
Raise awareness. Full PPR, Kareem Hunt or Zach Evans. I'm going Kareem Hunt here.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Crypto, Jacoby Myers or Terry. I think we both go Jacoby here.
Yeah, I would go Jacoby. Yeah.
And he said, and Zach Ertz or Michael Halloween Myers. I love that. Give me Michael.
Yeah, I'll go Michael as well. I'm with you.
Yeah, love
Dustin that. Is the next one. He says flex Pickens, Downs, Elliott. It would be Pickens for me, but it's close.
It would be Pickens as well for me. Hey, I don't even know how to say that. ASD. Hey guys, who should be my wide receiver 2 this week? Godwin, McLaurin, or Mari? I would be going to Mari Cooper. There.
Same. Love that we finally get him and Deshaun Watson back.
Oh my gosh, I'm loving it.
And it's a great matchup. Zach Evans, we talked about this a lot, Matthew. Hopefully you just heard us talk about it in depth.
Hopefully.
Minibot says start 2, sit 2, Eckler, Jacobs, Saquon Pacheco. I mean, you can't sit Austin Eckler and you can't sit Josh Jacobs. So
what's going on here?
Yeah.
What's going on here, Minibot?
I mean, the question of dreams. I mean, we got people talking about starting Zach Evans. And my guy's like, should I start Saquon? You're blessed. Yes, sir. Says, what's goody? What's Gucci, man? PPR start Zach Evans or Wilson. We'll go Jeff Wilson there. I think both of us would say that.
Absolutely.
Hey, by the way, we have 170 people watching the stream. That's awesome. We typically don't have that many people, so thank you for joining us. We're grinding every day over here, trying to give you out the best fantasy football content. Can you do us a huge favor? As we answer your questions, all we're going to ask in return is that you smash that like button. I don't think we have ever reached 150 likes while on a live stream on this channel. So there is currently enough people to reach that. Can you help us get to 150? We're currently only 50 likes away from reaching that goal. You could help us make some history on today's channel. Go ahead and absolutely obliterate that like button. Take out all your anger, all your frustrations.
Yeah,
you know,
say something dirty too.
On the say something dirty. We appreciate y'all. Thanks for hanging out with us. By the way, super chats do get answered straight away, so consider that. Otherwise, we're going in order. And the next one in order is from Maxwell. He says, should I trade Saquon and Zach Moss for Amon-Ra? Saquon and Zach Moss for Amon-Ra. I'm 6-0 and I have Kamara, Ken Walker, Achane, and Kyron. I like this deal then. Yes, I will take the Amon-Ra side.
I would say yes. That's crazy. Let's not dwell on it. Muhammad, Dynasty, half PPR, start 10, Etienne or Treylon Burks. Sorry. Etienne or Treylon Burks, Dotson, and Najee.
This is a trade question, I think. So
yeah,
Etienne,
so you're saying Etienne for Treylon Burks, Dotson, and Najee?
Yeah,
give me Etienne.
Yeah,
give me
we'll
Etienne.
both take Etienne there. We buy homes near you. Let me know, man. DM me if you want to try and buy my home. Which wide receiver and quarterback would y'all start this week? Pick one. Wide receiver and quarterback. All right, let's start at wide receiver. It would be Lockett for me. Agreed. And at quarterback, it would be Purdy.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes, it would be Brock Purdy.
Ty Goodman, flex one, Moss, Pickens, Dobbs. Man, Zach Moss is the ultimate wild card. It is really tough to really digest that. His touches go down a lot last week. Still got 7 targets.
Yeah.
This would be Pickens for me, but I'll be honest with you, Ty. I think transparency is great. Any one of these guys could outscore the other.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, especially the way Zach Moss has been getting used in the air. If that is the case against this tough defense, I can see Zach Moss easily outscoring Pickens.
Yeah.
I'll lean Moss this week, but it's very, very close.
Yeah.
Hopefully that helps. J-Mo or Elijah Mitchell in the flex this week. Well, if CMC plays, then it's going to be J-Mo. If not, give me Elijah Mitchell. I feel a little bit more confident there, in my opinion.
Yeah, and hopefully we have a report that comes out soon that will give you that clarity. But I'm leaning 65% CMC play, so I'll say J-Mo without knowing that. We did just get a super chat, so let's answer that straight away. Big shout out to Sammy. Thank you for the donation. He says, hey guys, torn between letting Devontae as my wide receiver 1 since Hoyer's a quarterback. Keep him or replace with St. Brown and let Flowers at the wide receiver 2. I mean, the way I would play this is I'm playing Devontae and St. Brown. I wouldn't overthink it. Don't try and galaxy brain it. We know, what has Devontae Adams said this week? He wants to be more involved. We've seen that. He said it last week. Now he knows this is a problem. This is kind of, in my opinion, squeaky wheel gets the grease type vibes. I think Devontae's going to have a great game. It's a great matchup.
Yeah, great matchup as well.
So, yeah, I'm going Devontae and Amon-Ra. Don't overthink it. I do love Zay Flowers. Don't get me wrong. But we have a saying over on this channel. It's keep it simple, stupid. We talk to ourselves. You can say it to yourself if you want. Keep it simple, stupid. Start your stars, okay?
Start your stars. Come on, baby.
Buddy,
I would say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm in right before Sammy. I'm interested who you have at the flex position that you're starting over Zay Flowers. I think Zay Flowers has a good should be started unless you just have another superstar there. But hopefully that helps. Thank you so much for the super chat, man.
Yeah, Buddy is the next one in order. He says, also, I was offered Chris Olave for my Adam Thielen. Half PPR, yes or no?
Look, at this point, how do you say no to Adam Thielen? Chris Olave, another game, 12 points, 15 targets. How do you say no to Adam Thielen?
No, you're right. It is Adam Thielen. What I will say is this absolutely signals to me that Chris Olave is a huge buy in Dynasty right now. That's what it signals to me, that this is a conversation in redraft. But
I hear you.
Got to keep Thielen. GTB, what is up, my man? He says, asked the other day, McLaurin or Hunt. You said Hunt. Still more confident in him, assuming he's healthy. Yeah, it would still be Hunt for me. What about you?
Yeah, it will still be Hunt just based off of the matchup.
Yeah. Chuck. What's up, Chuck?
How you doing?
Where's Ernie? Chuck and Ernie and
Ernie?
All that crew.
I thought it was Bird and Ernie, brother.
Well, I'm talking about the NBA crew.
Oh, I'm talking about Sesame Street. I mean, our lives.
Great. Here we
How
are.
different that is.
Thoughts on this trade offer? Mahomes and Godwin for Pollard and Lawrence. Even or who wins? So Mahomes and Godwin for Pollard and Lawrence. This would be Pollard and Lawrence for me. You know, I do expect Mahomes to be better, but I think we can all recognize, I'm a Chiefs fan, I think we can all recognize that this is a different offense in Kansas City, and Mahomes has not been worth where anyone drafted him in fantasy this year. That's just a fact. Whereas with Godwin and Pollard, we know that we have a lot of confidence in Pollard the rest of the year. He's going to be off of his bye week, and you're going to fire him into your lineup every single week. So yeah, it would be Pollard and Lawrence for me.
Completely agree.
By the way, like update, we are currently at 131 likes. Remember, we've never hit 150 on a live stream where we've done Q&As before. So we are currently 19 likes away from hitting that goal. So do us a favor.
Something along those lines.
If you haven't hit the like button, go ahead and smash that thing. Help us get to 150. We'll make some history together. We'll answer your questions in order, unless there's a super chat there. Robert is the next one. He says, need 3 wide receivers. Okay, Judy, Sutton, Dobbs, London, JSN, Downs, Rice. Okay.
So I think, okay, I have one.
London, right?
Yes. One
London
is London
for sure.
Now I feel like all these guys could be either high upside plays. All these guys either have tough matchups or maybe there's a wide receiver 2 on the team. I feel like Rice is the second one for me.
Really? Okay.
I think he has the best matchup out of all these guys. He's playing the Los Angeles Chargers, who currently give up the most fantasy points to the wide receiver position. We've seen him in the past 2 weeks score over 10 fantasy points, which feels really confident moving forward, especially against, once again, the Chargers, who give up the most fantasy points. Then the second closest person that I'm struggling with is, oddly enough, between Sutton and Downs. Sorry, Sutton and JSN, based off if DK is going to play or not.
Yeah. Well, I'll answer this because this is a very, very tough call. I mean, I'm looking at my rankings right now. Rice, Downs, Dobbs, all back to back to back. What I will say is London stands out for me. It would be London, then it would be Sutton for me, and then it would be Rice. So it is very close. Okay. If DK doesn't play, we'll put Jason ahead of Rashee Rice.
Oh, ahead of Rashee. Okay.
And we'll go ahead and play. We'll put him ahead of both of them, honestly. But we'll go ahead and go with London, JSN, and Sutton. But assuming Metcalf does play, it is London, Sutton, and Rice for me. So
Rice. Okay. Okay. So for me it would be London, Rice, and JSN coming in. I think with or without DK. So hopefully that helps. Actually, my current wide receivers: Flowers, Puka, Christian Watson. Okay, thoughts the rest of the season? Looking to trade or hold? I mean, all these guys feel like players that you want to keep starting.
Yeah, Olave's underperformed. Smith's underperformed. Watson's underperformed. We know Puka's consistent. We want Flowers. We want those young, upside rookies on our team. So, we don't really break down too much of your teams on streams like this. You can see just there's so many questions to get through. We want to help as many people as possible, but I like your wide receiver core is what I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Clyde,
agree.
if Aaron Jones plays, you play him. If he doesn't, you don't. Jacoby or Deontay?
Jacoby for me.
Jacoby for me as well. Chad says, what defense should I stream this week? Currently starting the Raiders. If you're streaming a defense, I don't think there's a better one than the Raiders. Maybe the Packers. The Browns would have been picked up by now. And there's no way the Bills or the Niners are available on most people's waivers. So
yeah, completely agree. Ace, if my running backs are Jones, Barkley, and Ford, should I try to trade Kyren for a better wide receiver? I am 8. You're 8-0. I'm assuming you
is against the median. Wait. Median would be 12-0.
Maybe the scoring difference is a little bit different.
How are you 8-0? Anyway, regardless. If my running backs, what do you think?
Look, I would say this. I think you have Aaron Jones, Barkley, Ford. You're 8-0. I'm willing to shop Kyren and see what wide receivers you can get, without a doubt.
Would we agree though that you're probably not going to get the proper value as soon as he goes on IR? Like if I'm undefeated, I'm more willing to let Kyren get back from IR than to downgrade at wide receiver, unless someone gives you like really good value.
Yeah, I think it just depends on what value you get at that wide receiver position. But yeah, probably not the right time.
Oons, what's up? Aloha. I need one
Aloha.
more. My wide receiver spot, Pittman, Deontay. It would be Pittman for me.
Yeah, it would be Pittman. Don't love the matchup, but
Neither. And pick 2 in the flex. Moss, Laporta, Evans. This would be Laporta and Moss.
I'm going to tight ends, Laporta and Mark Andrews.
I
you have Mark Andrews.
believe he's
sorry.
already starting Mark.
Laporta and Moss. I'm sorry.
That's
I thought
okay.
he said Mark Andrews. Go ahead.
Gino or Hal this week? It would be Gino for me.
Gino for me. Yep.
I think he's going to have a great week. Ramon says Gabe Davis, Jalen Warren, or Jeff Wilson for the flex. Thanks again. Love the channel. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
That's a great question. To me, I think Gabe Davis has the highest upside here.
No doubt about it.
Clearly, he has a low floor.
He's the boom
If
or
you're
bust
chasing
coming
upside
in.
this week, it'd be Gabe. If you're chasing safety, no, honestly, it's Gabe for me regardless. There's too much questions with those other guys anyway.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going to go. Gabe Davis, only 2 games where he scored less than 5 fantasy points. That was week 1, and then last week against the Giants. Now he's playing New England, a divisional game. We should definitely see a better game coming from him in week 7, so I'm completely there with you. Next one, Illumophobia. One of the
Raise
three,
awareness.
Raise awareness. One of the 3 have to bench full PPR league: Palma, London, and Lockett. If you have to bench one of the 3, I think we both agree it will be Palma.
Agreed.
Yeah. Mike Walker, what's up, fellas? Aaron Jones at 423, or sweat it out with CMC on Monday night and hope he's not limited. I'm thinking CMC is playing. Look, I actually think you should have that report before even the second slate of games. If the report comes out, I would even say the report should come out in the next, 8 hours before.
I would say
1
on
PM
Aaron
games.
Jones. I don't know about CMC though, but that report could happen during the games tomorrow for CMC.
It could.
I mean,
CMC
if there's a
could
report
play
that comes out like CMC is likely to play, then yeah, I'll wait on CMC.
Would you want? Yeah, I'll wait on CMC as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully that helps. Michael, Deontay Johnson, or Rashee Rice? I'm interested to know what you think. I know where I would go here.
Yeah. I'm going Deontay Johnson still. I think you might go Rice, but what I will say is, Deontay, maybe it's a feeling, whatever. Some of these you have to kind of make a narrative for yourself. With Deontay, my opinion is he comes back. They've missed him. I think he gets hyper targeted. I think he gets at least 8 targets in this game. I think they want to feature him. Hey, welcome back, Deontay. You're finally healthy. The offense has been terrible. Let's try and see if you're the answer. So I think he gets featured. I think he gets 8 targets at least. With Rashee Rice, I love Rashee Rice. I'm a Chiefs fan. I love the matchup, but there's also a chance that, Chiefs wide receivers do what Chiefs wide receivers do and just disappear at times. So it's close, but I'll go Deontay.
I understand. I'm going to go Rice here. I love Deontay. I'm a big Deontay guy. I have him in a lot of the follower leagues coming into this year. Got injured, unfortunately. I just think Rice has the best matchup. Hard to sit somebody in that scenario. And this is a divisional game that can go either way. So I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
The Jedi, James Cook or Amari Cooper? I'm going to Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
Crypto, don't know if you guys answered my question. We did. We said Terry, and then we said Michael Mayer.
Oh, we said Jacoby and Michael Mayer.
Sorry, Jacoby and Michael Mayer. That's what
Yeah.
I meant to say. What's the next one here?
Athera says pick one.
Athera, yep.
Gabe Davis, Deontay, Jeff Wilson. This would be Deontay for me.
Isn't that the one we just answered?
I don't think so. It's slightly different.
Be Deontay. Yeah, I'll go Deontay in this scenario here. Gabe Davis is very, very close.
Isaac says Rice, Godwin, or Pittman full PPR. This would be Pittman for me. And, I understand it's not a good matchup at all. But I also strongly believe that the Colts will need to throw the ball in the second half. I mean, it feels like every game that Gardner Minshew has played, the Colts wide receivers have been awful. And in the second half, they're like, let's just throw the ball every play, And then Michael Pittman somehow ends up with 20 points. You're like, wait, that guy had 1 point at halftime, and now he's putting 20 on me as I'm playing against him.
Yeah.
It's tough. I know it's not a good matchup. I'll go Michael Pittman there.
I understand. I'm still gonna go Rice, but I completely get what you're saying.
That is understandable. Okay, guys, we have officially hit 150 likes, which we definitely have never had that many likes on a live Q&A. Now, is it possible? Maybe we're a little ambitious here. Is it possible to get to 200? I don't know. There may be enough people who have not hit the like button yet that could get us all the way to 200 likes. You guys are awesome. Do us a favor. Go ahead and obliterate that like button. Hit that like button for us. Help the channel grow.
Appreciate you guys.
Well, this is awesome. We are loving this stream. We appreciate y'all. Thank you for the love. By the way, we are answering questions in order, so no need to duplicate your question in the chat. We're going in order from top to bottom. The only time we go out of order is if there's a super chat. Okay. The next question in order is from Mark in Souls. It says Komet or Mayer. This would be Mayer for me, and then Mitchell or Dylan. This would be Dylan.
Dylan. Yeah. Completely agree. Yep.
No worries, Clyde. Keaton says Debo's out. You're taking Osborne over Rice. This would be really close call.
This is where I'm going Rice.
Yeah. I think that's the right call. I think Rice is the right call. Yeah, we'll go Rice.
Okay. Sounds good.
Starting McLaurin or Watson this week? This would be Terry for me. Terry. What about you?
It'll be Terry for me as well.
Okay, yeah. I mean, they're ranked relatively close. They're in the same tier for me. So, yeah. Yes, sir says you could trade CMC for Tyreek and Cup. I don't think you could, but if you can, absolutely do that. Yeah.
If you can, sure. That would be amazing.
Turt Phoebe says McLaughlin, Warren, or Jeff Wilson. I'm going Jeff Wilson there.
Yeah, I think we said Jeff, and then Flowers or Watson.
Flowers.
I'm going Flowers as well. Yeah. AC, what are we thinking? AC, who are we thinking is the running backs to have in LA while Williamson? Look, I think we answered this question so many times. We have no idea. I don't think anyone knows. I don't even think even Sean McVay knows who he wants to start coming into Sunday.
I think that's 100% right. And, we have answered it a bunch. Hopefully you guys have heard one of those convos, but it is a big question. Overall, I'll just say quickly, I think 90% of people have a better option than a Rams running back this week, just with the unknowns. Andrew says, what's good, y'all? What's the weather like over there? Love the content. Weather is hot today.
Summertime, baby. I think we in the 80s right now.
Yeah, it's hot over here.
I can't wait. Yeah, 81 going to be a high 84 today. Can't wait.
Yeah. Yes, sir says, I have Kyron Sanders, Rashawn Herbert all injured in a 14-man. That is tough. No IR? Come on, man. That's not right. Perez. I mean, come on, no IR. We want fantasy to be fun. We don't want it to be pain. And with injuries, at least you get to pick someone off the waivers if you have IR. That's not cool. Perez says, should I trade Waddle, Kyron, Javonte for Pollard? Waddle, Kyron, Javonte for Pollard. My team. Look, I'll say overall, I wouldn't really love doing that deal. If you can take out Waddle and make it Kyron and Javonte, yes. Or if you can take out Kyron and make it Waddle and Javonte, yes. But not for the three of them.
Yeah.
Just giving up too much, I think.
Adams. Is that you have Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase, Flowers, Drake, Jonathan Taylor?
I think so.
It's a lot of running backs there.
A lot of wide receivers.
Wide receivers, and that's why I'm thinking. Excuse me. That's why I was thinking maybe it's okay to give up Waddle there to get someone like a Pollard.
Yeah.
I mean, Adams, Chase, Flowers, Drake. Those are 4 starting wide receivers you don't really have to think about anymore.
Yeah.
With Jonathan Taylor, Brian Robinson.
I'd rather start Waddle over Drake most weeks, though.
And Pollard. I guess it just depends. Whichever one you want to give it. So then would that be okay? Would you rather give up Drake London, Kyron, and Javonte and receive Pollard? Is that still too much?
I'm fine with that. I just think it's a little too much. I think Javonte's going to be better. There are metrics that are telling us he's getting more and more healthy. He has a great matchup this week. And think about it. If Kyron was healthy today, would you do this deal?
Look, If Kyron was healthy today, yeah, it's a different.
Because you're almost
conversation.
getting the same thing.
I think the next big question for Perez is, okay, what's your record?
Oh, he says I'm 0-6 down here. How are you 0-6 with that team? This must be like an 8-man league. Yeah, look, if you're 0-6, then
you
well, firstly, if you make that trade this week, you lose
not
Waddle
even
out of your lineup, and you're not starting
you're not even
Pollard.
starting Pollard. Yeah, I think the trade long term could be better for him, and Kyron is not going to help him that he's 0-6 for the next 4 weeks.
I think the trade long term is good for you, but
Pollard doesn't help you this week.
It won't help you this week, but it'll help you rest of season. But how are you 0-6 with that team? That's crazy. Dylan, what's up, my man? Deshaun Watson, Kirk Cousins, or Sam Howell? It's Howell for me. I believe it's Watson for my friend here, but
it's Watson for me as well. Yeah,
it's very close in that one. Hopefully that's helpful. Jeff Wilson or Latavius Murray? I'll go Jeff.
Yeah, give me Jeff.
JC says trade Christian Watson for Ridley and Kmet. My other tight ends are Logan. Look, Kmet is not an upgrade for me.
No, it's not. Especially with Justin Fields in question, how long he's going to be out for. What is that going to look like? I don't want that.
Like, I view Logan and Kmet very similarly rest of the year.
Completely agree.
You need more. XC says, I'm in a 16-man full PPR. Who do I start between JSN or Reed? It would be JSN for me. What about you?
Completely agree. JSN.
Finger says, would you do this? Devonta Smith, Bijan, Calvin Ridley for James Cook, Amon-Ra, Amari Cooper. Bijan. So, Devonta Smith, Bijan, Ridley. You're taking a big cut at running back.
Who's your running backs? My running backs would be Cooks, Brian Robinson.
No way I'm doing that then.
Zach, no, yeah. No,
absolutely
you need to keep Bijan. You have to. Hopefully that helps there. Chris, for week 7, rank these in full PPR. Swift, Ayuk, Puka, Pacheco, who has the best upside? I think the best upside has to be these wide receivers, in my opinion, in a full PPR. You think of Puka, you think of Ayuk with Debo being out, so I'll rank those guys 1 and 2. Then it will be Swift for me against Miami, and then Pacheco, personally.
Yeah, if I had to rank them, it would be Ayuk, just because no Debo. That matchup is incredible, and man, I love Ayuk this year. I mean, he's really stepping into like a top 12 status in the NFL. I will put Swift second because of that matchup, because it's the highest over/under of the week. Because I feel like there's a chance for that to be a shootout with the Eagles and the Dolphins, I'll put Swift second. I'll put Puka third. I'll put Pacheco fourth. But it is very, very close. We did just get a super chat, so let's go ahead and prioritize that. Let's answer that straight away. It's from CJ.
Thank you so much.
CG, rather. Sorry. Thank you for the donation, man. It says, should I risk starting CMC? And if so, which 2 to start? Rice, Downs, Dobbs. If he's out, I'm stuck with all 3. I would absolutely think it's worth risking starting CMC. We talked about this a little bit earlier on the stream. If we were to put a percentage on what we thought CMC would play, it would be 65% for me. I believe Badaki said 60%. So we are in the camp that it's more likely that he plays than not. You hopefully will find out more information before you have to make that decision. But I definitely think it's worth starting CMC. And in return, I would probably start Rice and
Downs for me.
Rice and Downs, you said? I love the matchup for Dobbs.
I understand, yeah.
It would be Rice and Downs for me too, though. Yes. I'm just double checking my rankings. So we're on the same page there.
Yeah, completely. Thank you so much for that super chat.
Yes,
CG.
thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Back to the top here. Pearson said Goddard or Waller. I think it will be Goddard for both of us.
Agreed. Yeah, big fan of Goddard. I think he's going to have a great game.
MC week 7 running back 1 Barkley, running back 2 CMC or JT. CMC if he plays it, if not then JT. Hopefully that helps, and hopefully you know that answer sooner rather than later. Terry, Javonte or Foreman? Wow, that's a great question.
It is a great question. It's back to back in my rankings, and it'll be Javonte. Thought about
this one. Yeah, I'm thinking Javonte here. Packers give it the 5th most points. Foreman's against the Raiders. Give me Javonte coming into this week. Iceberg.
We do have a super chat, so let's make sure we get to that straight away.
We'll come back to you, Iceberg.
That's Gerald with the donation. Thank you, Gerald. We'll get to this question straight away here. It says Jordan Love or Deshaun Watson. You and I might have different opinions on this one. These guys are back-to-back in my rankings. Watson is not fully healthy. Both have great matchups. I would say Love has the best matchup of the two. Jordan Love at Denver. I'll go Jordan Love there for me.
Yeah, for me, it'll still be Deshaun Watson with the rushing upside. If I don't know, I guess if he's quote-unquote healthy, or if he's at 90%, I think he still has a higher ceiling. But I understand Jordan Love against the Broncos currently give the third most fantasy points to that quarterback position. So I completely understand if he wants to rock that way.
By the way, I think you can make an argument that Jordan Love has some rushing upside too. I mean, over 25 rushing yards. He's averaging 25 rushing yards in the last 3 games, and he scored 2 rushing touchdowns in 2 of the last 3 games. So
I definitely can help him.
It is very close. You're not wrong. Like, it's a very, very close call. I could see it going either way. Hopefully that's helpful. Yeah. Iceberg is the next one. Kirk Cousins or Sam Howell? We're both going Sam Howell, right?
Agreed.
Yeah, it's just Kirk could overcome the matchup versus the Niners, but it's not something that we would like to bet on. Especially Andrew with a donation. So let's get to. He says, "Haven't heard Badaki talking up QJ lately. Anything you want to say on that?"
Well, we haven't seen much of him, so I can't really talk him up. To be completely honest with you, when your guy is only getting 2 targets, one of the targets literally coming at the last play of the game, I don't know how I can talk him up. I think he needs to get more involved. I don't think he's a dead asset. We just gotta wait and see what's gonna happen with Quentin Johnson. I still believe in him. I still believe he's this player for me, and he will be the long-term answer, in my opinion, for this Chargers team, because Mike and or Keenan can both be gone by the end of this season, as we knew coming in as well.
I'll just say this, as someone who's clearly I'm not a QJ guy like you, or at least as much, right? Like, you love him, but what I will say is to defend Quentin Johnson, like, let's give him a little more time. I know that most people will not want to give him more time. Christian Watson was a non-factor until week 10 onwards in his rookie year. Amon-Ra St. Brown was a non-factor until I think week 12 onwards. Give him some time to learn the playbook. I know and a lot of people are not going to want to hear that. Give him some time to get, into the NFL. Not everyone's Justin Jefferson. Not everyone's Olave and Garrett Wilson, and they're ready to just go full bean straight away. I'm definitely concerned myself, but I also think in Dynasty, clearly we're not talking about him in redraft, but in Dynasty, I think he remains a hold. I'm not buying him, but I think he remains a hold. So yeah.
I agree. Like, you can't talk him up because there's nothing to talk up.
Yeah, it's tough right now, for sure.
I mean, what am I going to say? 0 points last week.
I will say as well that a lot of Charger fans have said this, and I would agree. They're not really using him the right way. Like, he's not really a 1-for-1 replacement of Mike Williams. Mike Williams plays. I feel like Mike Williams is not a yak guy, and that is where Quentin thrived. When you loved watching his film out of TCU, he thrived after the catch. And oddly enough, for as big as he was, he kind of struggled as like the contested catch, go up and grab it. Like, that wasn't really a huge strength of his. It was more, what can you do after the catch? So, yeah, it's just.
Hey, give him a couple. I mean,
someone said it like this: they're trying to put a square peg in a round hole, and that's tough.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really say much about it, but we'll wait and see what happens.
Yeah, obviously disappointing. I think you could agree so far.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the donation. We got a couple donations here we'll get through. Says traded Keenan and Ayuk for Kupp and Thielen. What are your thoughts? Keenan and Ayuk for Kupp and Thielen.
Traded Keenan.
I mean, that is pretty dead even. I'll be honest with you. What I will say is I am more concerned about Thielen being injured than Keenan. As odd enough as that sounds. But it's pretty dead even.
Look, I think I would say this. I think I would want Ayuk over. I would want Thielen over Ayuk right now. But I think Keenan for Kupp and or Thielen are both even trades. So I'm giving it to the Kupp and Thielen side personally.
Yeah. Okay.
I would want that, but how can I get it? I think both Cooper Kupp and Thielen should be questionable for injuries, and Keenan, right? Like all of them.
Yeah.
So that's
we have
tough.
Another donation here from AD, so let's get to that. Thank you for the donation. It says, should I trade Christian Watson for Christian Kirk?
Look, I've been saying this coming into the season. Was saying I think Kirk's value is going to be better. I think Kirk is doing what he's doing right now and expecting. Even though that last play came at that play came off the last one of the last plays of the drive. If I'm not mistaken, he still had double-digit points before then. I think Christian Kirk has that good floor where Christian Watson has the highest ceiling. So it really depends on what you need. Good flex type of play every single day can get you, 11, 12, maybe even 15 points. Of Christian Watson that can get you the 15 plus points any given day of the week. Yeah. So just depends on what you.
I'll tell you what, watching the all 22 film is absolutely infuriating. Of Thursday night's game. About this. We were talking about this before the stream. Calvin Ridley was wide open most of that game. Like, my guy was. I'll just say this: if you started Calvin Ridley, obviously, it hurts. Of course, it hurts. I struggle when I watch all 22 to put that on Calvin Ridley because I think he could have had a huge game if Trevor was even willing to look his way.
The biggest thing
and that could change over the year. It could change. 100%. There could be more trust opened up because Calvin is doing his job. I'm just going to put it there. This is a close call. It really is. I think you're right. Kirk has a safer floor. I do think Watson has a far greater upside, though. So it depends on what you're looking for. Do you need more consistency in your lineup? Do you need more, volatility maybe with some upside? Then it's Watson. It's very close. If I had to make a choice, it would be Watson for me. It would be. It's very close.
Yeah.
We got another donation from Cameron, so we'll get to that straight away. Cameron says, pick one, Flowers, Pittman, or Jacoby. Flowers, Pittman, or Jacoby. This would be Jacoby for me, actually. Sorry.
Jacoby. Yeah, it'll be Jacoby for me.
I think we were both on the same page there. Love Jacoby this week. It's a very good matchup. But those are all the donations that we have so far, so we will go back up to the questions in order from top to bottom. By the way, update, we're currently only 24 likes away from 200, which is awesome. That would 100. We've already reached records here. We've never had that many likes on a Q&A. So if you haven't hit the like button, if we could somehow get to 200, that would be absolutely awesome. So go ahead, do us a favor, smash that like button if you have yet to do so. We are answering your questions in order from top to bottom. Super chats do get prioritized. The next question is from Terry. It says, need to drop one to add a kicker, Spears, Warren, or Mason? It'd be Mason for me. How about you?
Yeah, it would be Mason as well, especially with CMC potentially playing this week.
And he's just like a temporary guy. Says, full PPR, 5-1. Should I trade Waddle, Myers, and Kittle for Kyren, Ayuk, and Higgins? Waddle, Myers, and Kittle for Kyren, Ayuk, and Higgins. I think this really depends on what you need, because if you're trading away Kittle, I would hope that you have a good tight end instead. However,
who's your running back
if you're adding Kyren, I am assuming maybe you don't feel good about your running backs and you want to have him after he comes back from the IR.
Or he's pretty. He's 5-1, so I'm willing to take this chance. Actually, sorry.
Yeah, so if you need help at running back, I'll take Kyren. It's very close. It's all contextual there.
Yeah, I'm willing to take that chance.
We have a donation, so let's get to that straight away from Bleezo. Thank you for the donation, man. Appreciate you. He says, should I trade Deontay McLaughlin for Ridley? Deontay Johnson, McLaughlin for Calvin Ridley. I imagine I could get some hate here, but I would rather have Ridley.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I don't think I can do that personally. Look, Deontay Johnson. Look, I mean, just to expand on that conversation we were just having, I'm not saying it won't get better, and I'm not saying that it's Calvin Ridley or it's Calvin Ridley's fault. What we were saying right before the live stream is that I don't think Trevor Lawrence is used to throwing the ball on the outsides. All last year, the reason why Christian Kirk was so successful because of those slot opportunities. And what did we see this year? The same thing with those slot opportunities, him getting those targets that we expect. They're using Calvin Ridley as the big body play, like someone that goes down the field where you can put him in the slot and he can easily be Christian Kirk. You can do whatever.
Yeah.
I'm still believing in Calvin Ridley personally.
And you and I talked about it as well. Like, so we had expectations for Trevor Lawrence to break out for fantasy purposes, right? Mm-hmm. And I think one of the reasons that we haven't really seen that so far is because there isn't that trust down the field where we're seeing Ridley open on multiple plays. and it's just you're not even looking his way. Hopefully, with coaching, with film, they'll be able to recognize like, hey, man, Ridley's open. I understand you want to take this check down, but you could have had 30 yards instead of 5. So hopefully with coaching, like we hope and we believe that part of his game will open up. Now, this all depends on how big your league is, what your rosters are, if you need running back. If you're desperate at running back, maybe you take the McLaughlin side. But I'm still going to trust Ridley, and I think we might get hate for that. Am I starting him with confidence? No, of course not. But I think there will be better games for him, because if I was watching the All-22 and I'm saying, damn, Ridley is just not the same route runner that he used to be. That guy's locked up. He's got clamps all over him. He's not getting open. Okay, let's go ahead and agree. But that's just not the case.
I mean, it's not the case. I would also say a negative factor for Calvin, and I think for Trevor Lawrence as well, has been how efficient Etienne is.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, that has been Etienne's been great. That means every time he's gone in the goal line area or in that red zone area, he scored. He scored 2 touchdowns in the last 3 games on the ground alone.
Well, he scored 2 touchdowns in the last game.
Last game.
You mean in
the last 3 games? In each of the last 3 games, yeah.
2 touchdowns in each of the last 3 games, yeah.
Like, that is crazy, and that means they're efficient in the red zone in the run game, which means you see these players hinder in the secondary, like Trevor as well, like Calvin, like Christian Kirk. Even Evan Ingram has been, a little bit of a disappointment because of how improved the run game has been. Yeah. So
unfortunately, most fantasy players won't be willing to recognize that it really isn't Ridley's fault. Like, truly. I know most people will be like, no, he sucks, he's a bum. That's just not true. Like, if there are looks his way, the guy's open. He really is. But it's a very difficult question. Like, hopefully that helps though, my man. And he put down there, he says, wouldn't be hurting for Ridley, but good upside ability. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that given the second question that he put up there. Andrew has the next donation. He says, if you hear this, hit that like, baby. W chat. Appreciate you, Andrew. I mean, I just looked up.
Thank you so much, man.
We are 16 likes away from 200, which is awesome. That absolutely would be a record. So if you haven't hit the like button yet, go ahead and do so. Help us make some history today. We've already made history. Let's continue doing it. 15 likes away from 200, which is awesome. Cameron is the next donation, so let's get to that straight away. He says, trade Derrick Henry and Devontae Adams for Bijan Waddle and Devonta Smith.
Yes, give me Bijan Waddle and Devonta Smith.
I am with you there. I think that's a great deal. Love Bijan over Henry rest of the year, and we believe that Smith is going to be better. Just like we said with Waddle for multiple weeks, Waddle's going to be better. Waddle's going to be better. Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Yes, and then he ended up being better, right? The same can be said for Devonta Smith. Antonio, thank you for the donation, man. He says, need a second running back, Najee or McLaughlin?
I'm going McLaughlin here. I'm going there with confidence as well.
Here's what I'll say.
How can you trust Najee right now?
Jaleel is a whole 6 spots higher in my rankings than Najee.
Oh, gosh. That is crazy. That is absolutely absurd.
My rankings tell me Jaleel.
No, 100%. And so does mine. Jaleel has scored over double digits points more times than Najee Harris has. Jaleel to 2, Najee Harris 1.
That is actually ridiculous.
I don't know, man. I think it's crazy. Look, this team can turn it around after the bye. I'm believing for that for this team. I'm believing for Kenny Pickett. He was a big guy coming in, but anything can happen. But I am going Jaleel McLaughlin.
I just wanted to do
coming into this week
some quick maths, by the way. Jaleel has 37 points in 2 matchups, weeks 4 and 5 this week.
Oh no! Don't say it. Don't do that. Don't do it to Najee. Don't do it. Don't say it. Just move on.
Jaleel McLaughlin in weeks 4 and 5 has more points than Najee Harris has on the entire year. By a significant margin. It's not even that close. Crazy. Thank you for the donation. Like the next question that we have here in order is from Guns Montana.
Guns Montana.
Which you'd love to see. Start 2, everyone hurt. Madison, Javonte, Mitchell. This would be Madison and Mitch. Sorry.
No, Madison Javante.
Yeah, Madison and Javante. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I meant to
Completely
say.
agree.
One, what is up? Jeff Wilson, Algier, Jamison Williams.
I'm going Jeff.
I'm going Jeff. I will say this. If you need some ridiculous upside, then I'll go Jamison, but the floor is definitely Jeff. That's the play. AJ Stars, what is up? Deshaun is available to pick up. Should I drop Baker to start Deshaun? Yeah, I'd be willing to start Deshaun over Baker.
Agreed. Completely agree.
Yeah. Mini Bot says, should I start Hollywood, Lockett, or DK? Hollywood for me. What about you?
It would be Lockett for me.
All right.
But very, very close. Next question here. We starting Justice Hill or Jordan Mason this week? I think if CMC doesn't play, it's Jordan Mason. If CMC does play, obviously it's going to be Justice Hill for you, hopefully.
Yeah, agreed.
That helps. Harrison, should I start Zay Flowers, Ramondre Stevenson, or Jahmyr Gibbs in full PPR? Man, this is tough. I think all these guys kind of fall in that same category here.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Full PPR, I feel like it has to be Zay. I mean, as crazy as it sounds, even though I know Jahmyr is going to get the opportunity on the ground and in the air, I feel like Zay has the higher upside out of these three, in my opinion. What do you think?
I agree, he has a higher upside.
I guess maybe the question is, what do you need?
Man, and you know what will be so annoying about this game is depending on how the game script goes, you'll be either extremely excited or pissed off by your decision. Like, for example, if the Ravens are up in this game by a lot, you'll be pissed off because you're 100%. Like, damn, Zay, they don't need Zay. And Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be getting a ton of those check down targets, right? Whereas if you start Gibbs and they're winning, at least Gibbs is still going to get work on the ground. So maybe I'm trying to galaxy brain this a little bit too much, but it would be Jahmyr Gibbs for me because I think regardless of the matchup, he'll be necessary. If they're down, he'll get, the check down opportunities. If they're up, he'll get carries on the ground. So
I hear you. I understand.
We did just get a donation. So let's go ahead and answer this one. It's from Daniel. It says, hey, fellas, need advice since Ridley had that high game, game. It wasn't a good game for him. No way. He says, I'm only down by 27, so one running back. All right, let's start here. Yes, if you started Ridley and we told you to, definitely, it's unfortunate. Sorry to hear that. But hindsight is everything. It is tough. I don't think anyone would have predicted that Ridley did that poorly, unfortunately. And it really wasn't his fault. I keep saying that, but if you watch the All-22, he's open. But let's answer his question. He needs one running back and one flex.
One flex.
One running back, one flex. Moss, Foreman, Ford, Addison, Deontay, Downs, Lockett, or Rice. So I'm assuming we're giving him two options and one needs to be a running back.
One needs to be a running back and one needs to be a flex.
Ford would be my running back. My flex would be
Agreed.
Lockett.
And my flex would be Lockett as well. Absolutely.
So we're on the same page?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely agree. Hopefully that helps, Daniel.
Daniel's in the all caps. So I know he was open. T-Law never looked at him. It's frustrating. It is frustrating.
We were watching the game as well together. And the ball snapped, and we saw it was like one-on-one with Calvin.
Oh, yeah.
On the street.
Like,
it was like,
so
this is Calvin.
Calvin's over here, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Hike.
The opposite
Who's
side.
over here? Who's over here? It's like, oh my gosh, bro.
The opposite side. Oh, that was a classic. I remember.
Ridley's wide open. Anyway, easy. Savannah, thank you for the donation. We'll get to this straight away. 2 RBs, 1 flex. Jones, Taylor, Cook, Jacoby, and Jacoby Myers, I assume. So we got to start 2 running backs. That would be Aaron Jones if he plays for me. And then I guess between James Cook and Jonathan Taylor.
This one's tough because, I want to start Jonathan Taylor, but it has one of the toughest matchups. I feel a lot more confident
James
against
for me.
James. Yeah, I want it. So for me, it'd be Jones, Cooks, and Jacoby for me. Those
I
would
agree.
be the 3.
Now, there's a scenario where Aaron Jones is ruled out and your decision's made for you, but it would be Aaron Jones, James Cook, and Jacoby Myers. Let me ask you this, though. Let's say a report comes out in 4 hours from now, tomorrow morning, whatever, and it says Jonathan Taylor is a full go. If that report comes out, I will start him over James Cook. If Jonathan Taylor is full go, I will start him over James Cook, and I will sit Cook and start Myers.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. Yeah, you're gonna have to. I agree. I agree.
Miles with the next donation here. We'll get to that straight away. Thank you. DK in the flex. If out, start Dobbs, Wilson, or JSN. I'm going straight to JSN if Metcalf is out.
Completely
agreed. Yeah, and I think expect at least 10 points if that's the case, if Metcalf is out. The next donation here is from Omari. Again, we get to these donations straight away.
Appreciate you, brother.
Omarion Sea Breeze. Anyway, 12 team half PPR need 3. That took me back to high school. 12 team half PPR need 3. Saquon Barkley, Bijan Robinson, DeAndre Swift, or James Cook. I do have Puka Nacua, but I feel like my RBs are more reliable. Here's what I'll say. If you need 3 here, it would be, geez. Okay, so Swift and Bijan are starting for me.
Exactly.
Now, I have to make the decision between Saquon and Puka is what it sounds like. Correct? That sounds like the decision we're making.
I agree, yes.
And that is impossible. I think if you polled 1,000 people on Twitter right now, or just 1,000 fantasy players, I think that would be 50-50. I really think it would. Because you can make a case that Puka's matchup is much better than Saquon's.
You could. I think the way I'm thinking this, because I'm a Giants fan, is like historically, Saquon against Washington normally has been great, right? I mean, obviously you could probably throw a game or 2 in there.
Historically, you're not starting Tyrod Taylor at quarterback, though. But yeah,
I mean, which gives you more reason to start Saquon to run the ball.
Maybe.
I hear you. I don't know. I hear you. I don't know.
Is it volume or efficiency? Because you'll lack the efficiency potentially.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna lack efficiency regardless with that offensive line. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can argue that Saquon can get. You know, last week Saquon had 29 touches in total, on the ground and in the air, and he only had 13 fantasy points. He could have scored 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I know.
That is tough. That is tough. And look, maybe I'm going to go with my bias here. I'm going to go Saquon.
Well,
based on this matchup, I think this is going to be a better game for the Giants. We saw this offense improve last week. Now, you can say the same thing with Puka, with Kyren going down, and they pass the ball a little bit more.
So here's the thing. Saquon touched the ball 29 times last week.
Mm-hmm.
I could not in good conscience tell someone to sit a player that touched the ball 29 times. Even if that player was Zach Moss. We've talked about that in the past, you know? So I am sitting here recognizing Omari, that Puka could be the highest scorer of all the names you just mentioned. With the information I currently have, making the best guesstimation would be Saquon, Bijan, DeAndre Swift. So that would be the 3 that I would start. It would be the 3 that you would start, Badaki, I assume. And we want to wish you the best of luck because it is a tough call.
Hopefully that helps, brother. I mean, I'm saying I'm a Giants fan as well. Go home, baby. Go with your heart. Give it a say, huh? Give it to him. He's gonna do what he does for your team. Hopefully.
Sir Boomer with the next donation here. Thank you for the donation, man. We do prioritize those super chats. So we'll answer this straight away. It says 12 team PPR. I think he's showing us his team there. He's got Tua, Bijan. He says put in Ingram and London over Evans and Devonta Smith. So essentially, he's showing us his starting lineup right there, right? He's starting Tua, Bijan, Zach Evans, Devontae Adams, Puka, Pitts, and Devonta Smith. Now, what you and I have discussed this week, or rather today with the information that we currently know, is that we would probably start Keontae Ingram over Zach Evans, right?
Agreed. Yes.
At this point, now, let me ask you this. If a report comes out that says Zach Evans is confirmed the starter, that would give me enough confidence to start Evans over Keontae Ingram. But we don't have that information yet, so therefore, Keontae is the play. Now, the other question is London over Evans or Devonta Smith.
Smith.
I
This one's hard as well. I mean,
Does that mean that you can start Drake London over Zach Evans? Because I don't see a Mike Evans there.
well, no, this will be a quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, tight end, and a flex. This is a typical 7 starting lineup.
Right, but he says in London over Evans or Smith. I'll say this. I would start London over Zach Evans if that's an option for him. I know you would too.
If that is an option, but yeah, I 100% would do that.
We're going to go ahead and assume that that's not an option. He says Ingram for Zach Evans. So, yeah, what I will say is we would start Ingram at this moment over Evans unless some reports come out that give us some clarity. And we would start Devonta Smith over Drake London, right? We want to be in that matchup.
Yeah, we want to be in
highest
that,
over-under of the week, Dolphins and Eagles. So, yes, we would start Ingram and we would start Devonta Smith. Only time that changes is if a report comes out that Zach Evans is confirmed the starter. Then we'll put Evans in over Keontae. So hopefully that is helpful. Thank you for your donation, man. Very kind. The next donation that we have here is from Easy Vanya. Thank you for the donation. Wide receiver 2, Myers or Watson? So let's start there. I think we both go Jacoby Myers.
Completely agree.
Jacoby has been a star this year. I don't think that's an overstatement. He's been a star. 90% of his games you would have loved to start him. So we'll start him. And then Musgrave or Jonnu Smith. I'll go Musgrave this week. Love the matchup versus the Broncos. Yeah. This is, I think, the best matchup, if not top 5, for tight ends when I was researching that this week. So, yeah, it would be Myers and Musgrave for me.
Yeah, it would be Myers and Musgrave. The Broncos give up the second most fantasy points to the tight end position. But I completely back you there.
All right. By the way, just an update. We are currently 10 likes away from 200, which is ridiculous. That's a ridiculous amount of likes. That's awesome.
We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for sticking with us, going through.
Thank you for the love. And if you haven't hit the like button yet, go ahead and do so because now we are 9 likes away from 200, which is absolutely incredible. So be a friend. Hit that like button if you have yet to do so. Help us reach that 200 mark. That is ridiculously cool. Donations, super chats get answered straight away. Otherwise, we're going top to bottom here.
Here we go.
And the next question from the top is Armando. Go ahead.
Armando, Keontae Ingram, Latavius Murray, Justice Hill, Zeke, or Craig Reynolds. This one is all very close. I'm going Keontae Ingram here.
Yeah.
Out of these guys.
This is like pick a number out of the hat and tell us. Okay, so how I would explain this is like I'm gonna tell you 5 numbers. Okay, you see them? I'm gonna put all of them in a hat. You have to randomly choose the right number. That's how I feel about this question. But Keontae is the one I would start. Truly.
Yeah, Keontae will be the one I would start.
Yeah.
Good karma. Pick 2. Flowers, DJ Moore, James Cook, Hollywood Brown, or Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, all these guys should be started, to be completely honest with you. Out of these guys, I'm definitely going Hollywood Brown.
Same.
And then I am contemplating between Jahmyr Gibbs and Flowers. And I think we had this conversation a little bit earlier. I'm going to be going Flowers. I feel like his floor is safer and his ceiling is a lot higher, personally.
Yeah. I'm just thinking between the two, if I had to choose, I want to start both of them, just like you mentioned. But just thinking about how this game plays out, I think Gibbs is matchup proof a little bit. Like he's game script proof, rather. He's going to be used if they're down as a check down, as a pass option. He's going to be used if they're up to kind of run the clock out. So I'm going to go Gibbs, but it's very close.
Yeah, I hear you.
We do have some donations, so let's get to those straight away. Easy Vanya back with a donation. Thank you. He says, RE last question, flex. Watson or James Cook? Christian Watson or James Cook, Badaki?
I'm going James.
Yeah, I'm going James too. What I will say, I think it's fair to say that Watson has higher upside, though.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I think Cook. This is going to be a better game for Cook for sure.
In fact, I'm starting Christian Watson.
Okay.
I'm starting Christian Watson. I do think that James Cook is a fine start this week, and I think he will be much better than he's been in the last 2 weeks. Yeah, However, in 2 games that Christian Watson has played, he has not scored under 10 points. And the matchup is very good for him. So It's a very close call. It's a very difficult decision, but I'll go Christian Watson there.
I hear you. I think higher upside Watson. I think, in my opinion, safer floor could be James Cook, but however way you see that. Thank you so much for the super chat. We do have another super chat here. Daniel.
Yeah.
Thank you so much with that. He said, with Debo out, who should I flex? Pittman, Downs, Reynolds,
Pitts there.
Yeah, it'll be Pittman. Pitts. Excuse me.
That is
Pitts,
Kyle
Downs,
Pitts, yeah.
Reynolds, or I'm assuming that's Jameson Williams, or is that Javonte Williams? Please clarify. You don't have to drop another super chat. Just put in the chat below if that is Javonte or Jameson, because I think that can change a lot there personally.
Right.
If that's Javonte, I'm starting Javonte with confidence personally. Now, if that is Jameson, I'm looking in other directions here. Like, I'm looking at Josh Downs. But I mean, look, Kyle Pitts.
How about Kyle Pitts, baby?
Kyle Pitts stepping up in the last 2
My
weeks.
love for Kyle Pitts
points.
has led to nothing but agony, except for the last 2 weeks. And if that's all it gives me, I will put that in a picture frame and I will hang it somewhere in my room.
He said Jameson. So that is Jameson Williams, and we're talking Kyle Pitts or Josh Downs.
Yeah.
Looking at it here, Tampa Bay Buccaneers give, it looks like quick math, the 10th least amount of fantasy points to the tight end position. But Josh Downs going against the Cleveland Browns,
More
who give
difficult
up
matchup,
the least amount of points to the wide receiver position.
There's a scenario here where the matchup doesn't matter for Downs, and they're down in the game so bad that they just need to hyper target him.
Exactly.
I'll say this: I think Downs is a safer floor, even with the matchup. I'll say Pitts has the higher ceiling. As crazy as that sounds. So, if you want safety, I think Downs is a play. But if you want upside, I would say Pitts is a play. And I am almost, gosh, like we're giving him advice, but I'm sitting here saying to you, there's a good chance we get this one wrong. I think honesty is important. We can only give you the best information with what we currently know. There's a reason they play the games. We don't have a crystal ball, So Downs, I think, is the safest play. The highest upside is Kyle Pitts. And if I want to have some fun this week, that could potentially turn into depression, I'll start Kyle Pitts.
I'm going to go based off game script.
It would be Pitts for me.
I'm going based off game script. I'm going based off of who I can see getting hyper targeted. I can also go based off of, this team is going to, as much as the Browns have been good, the Colts has also been competing as well. So
not in the first half, but yes.
Not in the first half, but I'm gonna go Josh Downs. But it can go either way here. But we appreciate you. Hopefully that helps. Our next one here is Ibrahim.
Yes.
Hopefully I said that right. Appreciate you. He said, need help, please. Half PPR, Josh Downs or Josh Palmer or Deontay Foreman. I will be going Josh Palmer here. I think he has a better opportunity in this game. You think of the Chiefs, a divisional game. This can also be a high-scoring game where the Chiefs are leading and the Chargers have to come back. And we saw Josh Palmer getting a little bit more involved as we saw last week. So give me Josh Palmer.
So it's the second highest over-under of the week. Chiefs, Chargers. There's a chance that that's not the case. I like Palmer here. I think the upside is there. Foreman, you will regret sitting Foreman if he has a touchdown. But if he doesn't have a touchdown, then you'll be happy that you started Palmer. So there's a higher chance that he doesn't have a touchdown than he does. Of course, it's still possible. But with that information that we currently know, and thinking about the game scripts, thinking about the players' roles in each of these matchups, I would lean Josh Palmer. It's very close.
Yeah, I mean, fun fact, last year, the 2 times Josh Palmer played against the Chiefs, one time he scored over 13 fantasy points, scored a touchdown, had 8 targets. The second time he played, pulled 8 out of 10 targets with 2 touchdowns, had over 30 fantasy points.
Yeah.
Could that happen this year? It could.
Absolutely.
I would say.
Yeah.
Hopefully that is helpful.
Yeah. By the way, update on our like goal of 200. We're currently 4 likes away from 200.
Come on.
And there's 124 people watching. I'm going to go out on a limb and say there's at least 4 people who have not hit the like button yet. I know it might be annoying to hear us to say that. The reason we do say it is because it actually does help the channel grow. You are telling YouTube that you like the content, you like what we do, you like the effort we put into our channel. So if you have yet to do so, if you have yet to hit the like button, go ahead and hit that like button for us. Help us reach that 200 like mark, if you will. Let's make some history. We appreciate y'all. We are answering your questions in order. As you know, donations get prioritized. The next question is from Russian Collusion. Says Hunt is questionable this week. Yes, we know that. Let's see if he plays.
Actually, I just got a report saying not so long ago, Deshaun Watson won't be the restricted versus the Colts.
That's good.
He'll starting bearing any unforeseen setbacks. Coming off the strained rotator cuff, Kareem Hunt iffy with a thigh injury.
Okay.
Round and iffy, as in like I feel like iffy is a lot more questionable than
Iffy's like 50-50, isn't it?
I guess.
That's how I would read it, iffy.
But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. Donald, pick one. Moore, Godwin, Palmer, Christian Watson. I'm assuming that's DJ Moore. Man, I feel like these are all the same guy. You know, like copy and paste. Highest upside out of this group, I would say, is Christian Watson. Safest floor out of this group, I personally would say, is Josh Palmer.
I'm going Watson here.
But I am going Watson. DJ Moore, I'm not confident in starting. Godwin, I'm not confident in starting. So those are the two I would be contemplating on between Palmer and Christian Watson. Hopefully that helps. Akshay, I traded C.D. Hubbard and Damian Pierce for Devonta Smith, Olave, and Hunt. Win or loss? Look, I definitely want the wide receivers in Devonta Smith and Olave over, I guess, Kareem Hunt and Damian Pierce. Or sorry, Trooper Hubbard and Damian Pierce.
Yeah.
You just have to hope that Devonta Smith and Olave produce and have better games. That's what I would say. And, you know, this is an easy win for you.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. That makes sense. We just get a super chat, so let's get to that straight away. It's from Joe. Joe, thank you for the donation. Raiders or Packers? D is the question, and I have them literally back-to-back in my rankings, but I would slightly lean the Green Bay Packers. Yeah. I just think they have better overall defense.
Yeah, they have better pieces, especially in the secondary as well compared to the Raiders.
Yeah.
Obviously, they have Max Crosby for the Raiders, but everyone else really hasn't been performing, in my opinion, when I watch those teams. But hopefully that helps. Thank you so much for the super chat.
By the way, we did reach the 200 like goal, so thank you so much,
Appreciate you guys.
We're at 205 likes, which is awesome. That is definitely a record for a Q&A live stream. So appreciate y'all. Thank you for the love. Thank you for all the super chats. You guys are awesome. And the next super chat that we have is from Hospital Mike. 12-team PPR, 2 flexes, 5-1 Howler Dots or Deshaun Watson if playing. We know he's playing. It's Hal for me, and it's Watson for Badaki. We've had this question actually quite a lot so far on today's stream. But yeah, I just feel like Hal is a safer play, excuse me. But it is close.
Right here, give me Deshaun Watson. I feel more confident in his offense, rushing upside, everything that can happen with Deshaun Watson. Top 5 quarterback, you know, if he's healthy and producing. Or top
he's
10,
definitely
top
not
10.
been that. But yeah,
I know, top 10. That's what
he was at one time, but he's definitely not been.
Yeah, I think the first 3 weeks he was top 10 quarterback. I don't have that number in front of me, but I could be wrong. Anyways, hopefully that helps their Hospital Mike. We appreciate the super chat.
Yeah. ER, what's up? Just donated, so we'll get to this straight away. PPR start 2, Deontay Rice, JSN. Let's start with that first one. This would be Deontay and Rice for me. Now, if DK Metcalf is ruled out, that would become Deontay and JSN.
Yeah. I would completely agree there.
And then the second question is Judy or Jeff Wilson rest of the season. I'd rather have Judy rest of the year.
Yeah, Judy, if he gets traded, I mean, his upside can skyrocket. And Jeff Wilson, we're expecting Devon Achane to come back and take over that.
But yeah,
Achane to come back. So hopefully that helps, man. Thank you so much for that super chat.
Yeah, of course, context of your needs might be important, but overall, hopefully that helps. Dito says Kareem Evans or Wilson Jr. this week. This is Kareem Hunt for me if he plays. Otherwise, I'll go Jeff.
Agreed.
JSN or DJ Moore this week? I'll go DJ Moore.
I'm going DJ as well.
The Amazing World PC says Calvin Ridley did nothing for me. Should have started Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, I mean
hindsight's 2020. Rod says McLaurin or Jonathan Taylor. This would be Terry for me.
Yeah, this would be Terry. JT gets the full go, then we'll have a new conversation. But for me, it's Terry against the Giants.
Yes. I've had Kyler stash since week 1. I love that for you. Double L says, what up, fam? Start 1 in PPR. Madison, Hunt, Downs, or Royce. This would be... I think this is Madison.
This would be Kareem Hunt if he does play. If not, I'll go Madison.
Agreed.
With you. That's what I would do. Don't love it, though.
Taylor says, if Aaron Jones doesn't play, start Zach Evans or Kareem Hunt or Gus Edwards. That's a tough call. It'd be Hunt if he plays.
Yeah, agreed.
Michael Wilson or Rachaad White in the flex. I think we like Michael Wilson as like a desperation type play, but I think we would go White based on the touches, the volume.
I agree. Completely agree.
Steven says Jeff Wilson or JSN at the flex this week.
I'm going Jeff.
Okay.
If DK doesn't play, JSN, and if DK does play, I'm going Jeff. I feel confident in Jeff this week, regardless, I think.
I think I lean JSN, man. I think I lean JSN because, I don't consider Jeff Wilson, and maybe I'll eat my own words, but I don't consider him like the same type of... He doesn't fit this offense like Achane does, like Raheem Mostert does. Like...
What if they flip roles, though? Like, Raheem has the speed, so what if Raheem takes the Devon role, and then Jeff takes the Raheem role?
Maybe. I don't know. But what I know is that Salvon Ahmed, Devon Achane, Raheem Mostert, they fit this offense like a glove. Jeff Wilson doesn't. So to me, the only way Jeff is like an incredible start is if he gets into the end zone. And maybe that happens. Maybe it doesn't. It's the best defensive line that you could face. Whereas with JSN, I do think there is some true upside there. Again, I'm saying Jeff Wilson could score a touchdown. I'm not saying he can't. But it's the worst matchup, and he doesn't fit what we have seen from these running backs who have been putting up huge points. He doesn't have the speed that a Mostert does. He doesn't have the speed that an Ahmed or an Achane has. So I like Jeff. I think he's a fine start, but I think JSN has more upside, especially if Metcalf misses.
Yeah, I hear you. We just get a super chat.
Yeah.
From Joe Castles. Joe Castles, appreciate you. He says, who is you guys' number 1 stash right now? Beat the wire for next week.
So I release a video every week that I talk about stashes, and you guys have loved those videos. It's been awesome to see. My number 1 stash this week was Kyler Murray, if he's available. And when we released that video, Kyler Murray was available. Let me double check here. In 87% of ESPN leagues and 67% of sleeper leagues. So he was widely available. He was my number 1 stash. My second was actually, oddly enough, Devin Singletary. I don't think many people are talking about Devin Singletary. I think they should. He took over the backfield last week. Maybe that's just an outlier, or maybe he fits the offense better and they're going to look at getting him more involved. He had more opportunities, more routes run, more snaps than Dameon Pierce last week. And I think he looked better in that offense, just my opinion. And he's currently available in 73% of ESPN leagues, at least at the time of recording that video he was, and almost 80% of sleeper. So those are my top 2 guys to stash coming in, Kyler and Devin Singletary. Now, of course, there's others. I'm just assuming based on,
Yeah, I think
in smaller leagues, there's better players available.
Yeah,
but
I think it just all depends on context. Like Zach said, how big is your league? What do you need? If you're looking at running backs this week and you need somebody, or maybe even next week that can grow into a bigger role. I do believe Darrell Henderson will play a big part now that Kyron's on IR. He just needs to get his legs back. He needs to get his legs back under him. It won't be this week, but I can definitely see it for the next 3 weeks, without a doubt. You can talk about, in a deeper league, I know he was also on your list, but Jalen Hyatt has been improving his snap share significantly. We saw him get utilized, playing more snaps than all like Paris Campbell, Darius Slayton, not more, but like close to, right? We're seeing these younger players get onto the field for the Giants, and I think that team will improve. But there is a whole bunch of lists. You can even go quarterbacks with Kyler Murray. You can talk about Gardner Minshew. You can talk about Brian Hoyer if Jimmy G is not the
Jimmy
guy
will
anymore.
play next week, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. Like, there's so many different people. It really depends what you need. You can talk about the tight ends and Luke Musgrave,
Michael Mayer.
Michael Mayer, even Dalton Kincaid. We're still waiting on that breakout. Any day that can happen, any week that can happen.
By the way, just an update on Devin Singletary. Typically, I'll release a video and, then the percentages change a little bit. Singletary is still available in 79% of sleeper leagues. That's really shocking to me. Like, that's very surprising. Even if it turns out to be nothing, like, okay, it was a stash. No big deal. But for him to be available in 79% of sleeper leagues is very surprising. And he's available in 74% of ESPN leagues. So, it's probably because of the bye. That's a good point. But if you have a free roster spot, I do think that Singletary's worth the stash. Look, maybe they come back next week and it's Damian Pierce show. Or maybe it's a 50-50 workload and Singletary is used heavily in the air, So I think he's the best low-key one that's available in a wide amount of leagues.
Yeah, hopefully that helps. Thank you so much for the super chat there, Joe. We really appreciate you guys. Gosh, back to the top. Still a lot of questions here.
Yeah.
Who did we leave
it's
off? David C says start Howell, Deshaun Watson. For Sam, it'll be Sam. For Zach, it'll be Sam Howell. For me, it'll be Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, it's close.
And start Hollywood or DK. It'll be Hollywood for the both of us.
Yes.
Short fat dude. He said first time viewer. We appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. He said Meyer or Foreman at the flex non PPR. In a non PPR standpoint,
still Meyer for me.
I think it'll be Foreman for me, actually.
Really? It would still be Myers for me.
I guess it just depends. Like, what is Myers? Well, I guess Myers has been getting the touchdowns. Hey, when I think of non-PPR leagues
and yards.
Yeah, and the yards. Okay, you know what? I'll rock Jacoby with you.
It's close.
I was just thinking of the opportunities on the ground with Foreman and
what
that could look like if he does get a touchdown. But yeah, Adam, PPR 3-3 record. Drop A-Chain or Kyron.
There's no way you should be dropping either of these dudes. Like, even in an 8-man league, Badaki, those guys have value.
Yeah, trade them away. Trade one away, even if it's even if
package
it's
a 2 for 1.
Not the value that you really want. This is what I would say. If I had to drop somebody and no one wants to trade for them, the person I would drop is Kyron.
Same.
Purely based off of he just went on IR and Devin is coming back 2 weeks sooner.
If I was in an 8-man league and Kyron was on my waiver wire, I would absolutely drop someone to go get Kyron Williams.
100%. 100%.
So, yeah, tough call.
Aaron Jones or Jerome Ford need one to start. Look, until we get that report that Aaron Jones is going to play this game, you have to start Jerome Ford. But if Aaron Jones just get that report and he's 100% go, he's going to get his workload. I think we both say we're going to start Aaron Jones over Jerome Ford.
If Aaron Jones plays, you start him for sure.
Yeah.
Russian says, guys, another nice number is we are watching your subs clicking up. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, we definitely hit over 10,600 on this stream, which is awesome. On the road to 10K.
We appreciate you guys. It's been awesome so far. Next one, KJ Osborne or Josh Palmer or Downs. For me, this will be Josh Palmer.
Same.
Yeah, Donald, it said drop them.
Oh, that's just who? He's talking to someone in the chat.
Okay,
there.
Sorry. Should I trade Christian Watson?
We answered that one in a super chat.
We did answer that in the super chat. Donald, sorry, Josh Palmer. Okay, he's talking about this. Buddy P, thanks for the help, guys. Deserve more viewership and notoriety. As for Adam Thielen, thank you so much, by the way, buddy. We really appreciate you. As for Adam Thielen, I have a deep feeling that he might get hurts being almost 34, but okay, I will hold on to him.
Dude.
Okay, I guess we were talking about,
I said that on multiple streams this week. Like, but I can remember that. Like, there are multiple times we were talking about Adam Thielen, and I said, there is no science behind this. There's no research behind this. There's no reason other than a feeling that would it surprise me if Adam Thielen gets injured at some point this year? Absolutely not. He's been injured a lot in his career. He's an older wide receiver. So I'm with you, dude. I get it. Like, yeah, he might get hurt. It's still in the back of my head if I own Adam Thielen. I'm like, man, should I trade off of him or do I just keep getting the points? Because there's a chance he gets injured. So I get it. But
lazy.
you ride it until he's injured, or you sell him for an equal value.
To give the man credit, last year he played every single game.
I don't feel like he was healthy though, was he?
In 2020 he played. Sorry. 2022 he missed one game.
Okay.
Sorry. He missed one game, but every other game he played.
Fair.
The only other game that he had under 50% of the snap share was in week 18 of last year. Every other game, 80 plus.
Okay.
To give the man credit, but I agree. Any day he can get injured. I'm not necessarily sure what can happen, but I don't know. Hopefully that is helpful. I just gotta let Blaze out because she's bothering me. But continue.
No worries. We did just get a super chat from Joe, so we'll get to that straight away. I'm 5-1. Trade or hang on to JJ. I assume that's Justin Jefferson, and I would absolutely be keeping Justin Jefferson if you're 5-1. You know, this is what we talked about last week before, whenever he was put on IR. Hey, if you are a team that is 4-1, 5-1, 6-0, then you keep Justin Jefferson, because you want to be the best team going into the playoffs, and in order to do that, you would need to have Justin Jefferson on your team. So hopefully that is helpful there. The next question, I believe, is from 215 Eagles. He says, should I bench Adams or Mostert for Elijah Mitchell if CMC doesn't play? No, I wouldn't bench Devontae Adams or Mostert for Mitchell. Buddy says, everyone in the chat like the pick'ems. Okay, he's given his pick'ems. You'll love to see it. Beastman says, hi, would you start Zach Evans or Najee Harris? I would start Najee Harris unless we get clear indications that Zach Evans is a starter. Gabriel says, at what point in the season is it a good idea to consolidate players by trading low ends? Gabriel, that's a great question. I would start to do that around week 10. Around week 10, most of your buys are kind of figured out. Then you can start to kind of, do those 2-for-1 deals where you're the strongest team heading into the playoffs. Yep. 215 Eagles says, should I trade Mostert for Ramondre Stevenson since Wilson is back? I'd still have Mostert. Right, I still prefer Mostert. What about you?
Yeah, I don't think I can do that now. This is what I would say. I think you can get Ramondre Stevenson and more for Ramondre, or for Raheem Mostert, excuse me.
I feel like you should be able to get just a better running back in general than Ramondre. Like, could you get a Saquon, a Swift?
Yeah, I would have completely agree
a with that. Kamara, a Walker, Jacobs, Etienne, a Eckler. I don't know. I mean, based off the trades that we've heard and that we've seen, that should be your goal.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Completely agree. Garrett says, thank you. Thanks so much, guys. 6-0, looking towards playoffs. Which running back is least valuable rest of the season? Eckler, Taylor, Hall, A-Chain. I mean, all these guys feel like they're extremely valuable. Mm-hmm. Right now, if I'm looking at it with all the context that we have, I feel like Jonathan Taylor is the least valuable.
Yeah.
But like, we expect his value to increase throughout the season.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's hard to kind of move on from any of these guys.
Yeah.
So hopefully that.
By the way, guys, we will be live for the next 10 minutes. All right, we'll be live for the next 10 minutes. So we can go get some lunch here where we are and plan for the rest of our days. But already been live over 2 hours and 10 minutes. So hopefully you guys can respect that. We'll be live for the next 10 minutes. We'll try and answer as many questions as possible. Super chats do get answered straight away. Next question is from KY. Says, should I pick up Deonta Foreman if CMC doesn't play this week? If CMC doesn't play this week, I would rather just start Mason or Elijah.
Yeah, I would agree there. They have a higher upside than Foreman in that offense coming into this week. If there's somebody I would want to start, it would be Mason over Elijah Mitchell. Mm-hmm. But that's another thing that we have no idea who it's going to be until CMC is out.
Yeah.
If he is out. So hopefully
I think I actually lean Mitchell now with what I've heard over the week, but it is close. I don't think there's a clear option.
Yeah, we just get a super chat here from Joe Castle.
I've already answered that one.
Oh, you did? Okay, never mind. I don't know why that just popped up.
That's okay.
Never mind. Thank you, though, Joe. Yeah. We appreciate you.
Don is the next one. JT Gibbs or Rashee Rice? This is Gibbs for me, unless Jonathan Taylor, we hear that he's full go.
I'm with you.
Jeff, what's up? He says, hey guys, start 2 full PPR, Warren, Evans, McLaughlin. This would be Warren and McLaughlin.
Agreed. What's up from Jersey? Appreciate you. Need one Madison, Rashad White, or Zach Evans.
White.
I'm going Rashad White. Yeah, I'm going Rashad White. Hope that has helped. Sir Boom, what's going on, gentlemen? Appreciate you. 12 team. I think we answered this in the super chat, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We pretty much did.
We did.
Yeah.
Hey, we appreciate you. Thank you so much, Sir Boom. Brady, Gino, or Sam Howell. I'm going Gino this week.
Same.
Happy, start Golf or Howell this week. This one's really close. I'm going Sam Howell based off matchup.
Same.
And then he says start Ravens D or Lions D. Ravens play, well, either they play each other.
Yeah.
I like either of this. I mean, if I had to choose one, I'm going to go.
I'll be right back, but Aki's going to keep answering these. I'll be right back.
Yeah, man, this one's tough there, Happy. I would say this. I'm going Lions just because of Aiden Hutchinson, but I don't like it. I don't like it whatsoever. Robert Berry, please help choose one full PPR. Jordan Addison, Christian Watson, or Deontay Johnson. For me, this one would be Jordan Addison for me. Jason, Isaiah Pacheco, or Bijan in my flex. You start Bijan, no doubt about it. Don't second guess that. Bijan is a must start every single day. Outlaw, full PPR, Jonnu Smith or Zach Evans. I'm going Jonnu Smith this week. Hopefully that helps. Team Kung Fu Cat. Hey, gents, what do you think of this trade? My Ridley and Jacobs for Keenan and Warren. I still, oddly enough, depending on how bad your running back room is, because, you know, acquiring Josh Jacobs right now and the way running backs are, I feel like Josh Jacobs is significantly more value, obviously, than Jaylen Warren. And even though Ridley hasn't been playing his best, any given week, he can still put up those top points. So I'm going to go Calvin Ridley and Josh Jacobs, but I can understand why Keenan Allen and Jaylen Warren could be getting traded in this trade, but give me Ridley and Jacobs. So hopefully that helps. Max says AJ Brown and B-Rob for Bijan and Jacobs. I think this one all depends. What do you need, Max? Do you need a wide receiver that can help you? Are you really struggling at the wide receiver depth? But for me, I think every single day is going to be Bijan Robinson and Josh Jacobs. Both of these guys are starting running backs, especially, once again, the way these running backs are hurting. Over 17 running backs that are starting in week 7, whether it's due to injuries and or bye weeks. So give me Bijan Robinson and Josh Jacobs. Victor, hey guys, still not sure if I should start Curtis Samuel or Drake London. Both these guys should be must starts in my eyes. Give me Drake London. He's been really consistent for the past couple weeks, continue to bowl out, and looks like Desmond Ridder is starting to find his rhythm with Drake London. And Curtis Samuel does have a good matchup against my beloved Giants. You know, but the higher upside is Drake London. The safer floor right now is Curtis Samuel. So hopefully that is helpful. Sam, since the week 1 blank Drake is a 14 PPR points per game, there you go. We appreciate you, and I love that. Ruben, Lost Dobbs, Monty A-Chain, Roscoe, would you trade Monty for Taylor? Man, are these all your running backs? Are you telling me you have no running backs this week? If you have no running backs this week, I'm not necessarily sure if I want to trade Monty away. I feel like if I have no running backs specifically this week and I know I'm going to lose, there's no point in trading Monty, because you hope that Monty is going to come back next week. You hope that Roscoe is going to come back next week. I think the bigger question is what other running backs do you have outside of your injured ones? You know, is there anyone that you picked up? Did you pick up Deontay Foreman? Did you pick up a Zach Evans? Did you pick up a Jeff Wilson? I think that would be the bigger question, in my opinion, because I want to keep Monty. I don't want to trade Monty for Jonathan Taylor. As crazy as it sounds of how consistent Monty has been. So hopefully that is helpful. Red John, Laporta or Dallas Goedert there. Both these guys have great matchups. This week, I'm still going Sam Laporta, even though Dallas Goedert is playing the Dolphins. But Laporta has been great so far. Tied in 2 on the year. So give me Sam Laporta coming into this week. Mini bot, should I add Devonta Smith to my lineup? Absolutely, depending on what you have. Yes, sir. He said, "Hey, Chad, traded Keenan Allen and I used Cup and Thielen. Did I get fleeced?"
Oh, we talked about that one.
Oh, you did? Okay, never mind. Nick, Goddard or Musgrave? I'm going Goddard there.
Same.
Tua or Lamar? I'm going Tua.
Same.
Sorry, yeah, I'm going Tua. Should I treat Christian Wander? We answered that already.
Yeah, we did.
Cole, Wanda Robinson or Trey McBride? I'm going Wandell, Russell Wilson or Desmond Ritter. I think we're both going Wandell, no question there.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson or Desmond Ritter. Give me Russell Wilson this week.
Yeah, I agree.
He's just been a little bit more consistent.
My name's Rod, and I like to party. No, my name's Rod, and I like to party. PBR bench 2.
Jacoby, McLaurin, Jonathan Taylor, Addison. So
this would be Sutton I'm benching. And I'll say if Jonathan Taylor's full go, I'll bench Addison. Sutton and Addison.
I'm going Sutton and Addison. Yeah.
It's tough.
It's a tough one.
All right, we have a super chat, so let's get to that. We'll only be live for the next 3 minutes here, guys. Heads up. Brad says, half PPR, start Lockett, Godwin, or London. This would be Lockett for both of us, right?
Lockett. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely start him. It's a great matchup. He should be great this week. Let's see. But hopefully that's helpful. Thank you, Brad, for your donation. T-Man here says, start Musgrave or Rachaad White, or play Jeff Wilson Jr. This would be Rachaad White for me. What about you?
I don't. This is crazy, man. Like the way I'm feeling is that I just feel that it's Jeff Wilson. It's like, you know, we say that we want a piece of this game.
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard not to start Jeff Wilson and then start Luke Musgrave at the tight end position. That's the way I will lean, but I could be completely wrong here with Jeff Wilson. But I'm just have that inkling there, and nothing to really back that up, to be honest. But
Andrew says that you convinced him to draft Quentin everywhere. Let's see.
There you go.
Could be redemption second half. We never know. Corin, what is up? Thoughts on Devin Singletary? I mean, yeah, we talked about him in depth. Hopefully you were watching, Corin, but I think Singletary should be picked up. I'm not wanting to drop Dameon Pierce, but Singletary should be rostered. Do you think Zach Moss will be droppable in the future?
I think he could be, depending on how once we get that report from JT.
Yeah.
But I don't think this is what I would say. Once you get that report from JT, I don't think Moss is immediately droppable. I think he has to perform first.
For sure.
Before you drop him. So keep that in mind there.
Christopher with a donation. This might be the last one we answer because we are over time, unless there's any other super chats. But he says, Darrell Henderson about to be the Rams RB1, buy or sell?
Oh, man.
I genuinely, here's what I'll say. Like I say, I've been saying this a lot this year. I don't think enough people tell you they don't know when you're looking for advice for fantasy. And it's just my personal opinion that if anyone out there is telling you they know exactly how this Rams backfield will look tomorrow, I think they're lying straight through their teeth and straight to your face. No one knows. No one knows.
No one knows.
I mean, there could be a report that comes out today that gives us a little more clarity, but if you want my honest opinion, I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. I think Zach Evans is a talented enough runner that he could, with the opportunities given tomorrow, build a lot of confidence. I think there's a chance that because of his issues in pass pro, they don't trust him. So there's 4 to 5 different ways this could really pan out.
Yeah, and the only reason why I will be leaning Henderson not as a buy or a sell, as somebody that I believe could just be
a stash, maybe.
Yeah, a stash. Is because of the history he has with this offense. You know, in the first half of the season last year, if I'm not mistaken, he was like a top 25 running back. I don't know from what game. I'm just talking. I don't have the numbers, but he was starting over Cam Akers. We were saying Darrell Henderson was better than Cam Akers at that time. We were saying that he should be starting over Cam Akers. Like, yeah, he just has more confidence in from what I know from last year, they picked him up off from last year. They rather have gone with Henderson than in Cam Akers, and
That
they picked him up.
wasn't the case for the whole year, though. But
No, exactly. It wasn't the case for the whole year because then he got released. That's why it's so iffy.
yeah, and
with
then
this
he
team.
couldn't even make the roster for the Jags. He couldn't beat out Jermichael Hasty. So like that's something to consider as well. There's just so many unknowns.
Yeah, there's so many unknowns that like I'm only going with the confidence that I believe that I've seen from in the previous years with Henderson. Now Zach Evans has to prove that as a rookie, which we don't know. We just does he prove it or not? Does he become the better pass pro in this game? And he has a crazy block and said that play didn't happen because of Zach Evans.
Yeah.
Right? Like something big has to happen for him.
Yeah, maybe he rips one off for 30 and you're like, okay, the juice is there.
Exactly.
Let
and
Zach
then,
loose, which
exactly
would
and
be
Sean McVay's
I would love to see that, but who knows?
Yeah. So
like
I think
I'll say this: I don't think there's a scenario in which we're watching Darrell Henderson tomorrow and we're like, "Holy shit, this guy is still so athletic." But it could be like, "That's good enough," That could be their thoughts. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine enough for us. We have a couple other super chats, and then we're gonna wrap up here today, guys. Joe says Bucks or Raiders defense. This would be the Raiders defense for me. I don't know about you, Badaki, but big fan of that matchup this week. The Raiders face the Chicago Bears, and the Bears currently give up the third most points to fantasy defenses. You agree as well?
Yeah, completely agree.
And then we have a donation from Stevie the Bull, but it's just down below. He says Josh Dobbs or Tyrod Taylor. Let's start there. Josh Dobbs or Tyrod Taylor? It would be Josh Dobbs, for me.
It would be Josh Dobbs as well.
I just think with what we've seen him capable of doing on the ground, hard not to pick him. And then the next question is, I guess Curtis Samuel, is that Curtis Samuel or Wan'Dale Robinson?
Curtis Samuel or Wan'Dale Robinson. In this scenario, I feel like it's going to be Curtis Samuel for me.
Yeah, it would be Curtis Samuel for me too.
For both those guys are really close.
I'll sit here and I'll say, as a Washington fan, I'm not convinced that Curtis Samuel is going to continue what he's done so far throughout the entire year. But based off of what we currently know, I would start him over Wan'Dale Robinson. So that is going to be it for today, guys. We genuinely do appreciate you guys a ton. The stream was awesome. So many likes, so many super chats, so many people subscribing to the channel. We love you. We appreciate you. Hopefully you get the win here in week 7. What I will say is I will update my rankings here after the stream. And if you want access to those rankings, then it's actually super simple. All you need to do is use the promo code LAND and sign up to the Flock Fantasy website. You can see what it looks like over here. This is the Flock Fantasy website. Oh, that's actually the stream, but let's go ahead and change to here. That's the Flock Fantasy website. It's what we talk about. Us and Mason from Flock Fantasy and a bunch of other great content creators have partnered to make what we think is the best website out there. You get articles from all the best people in the industry. You'll get my weekly rankings. You can see those here. Those are updated every week with rankings at every position, including kickers and defenses. You can see my starts and sits of the week as well at every position. And you can see the last time that I've updated it. I update it with injuries when they come out. Not only do you get that, you'll get our rankings for the rest of the season as well. So you can see where we stand this week. You can also see how we rank players rest of season. So if you're wanting to, let's say, okay, where do these guys rank rest of season? Not just this week if I'm doing a trade. You can see all that information here. You can choose specifically which creators' rankings you want. You can look at expert consensus. And again, this website is a combination of all of us. I think it's the best group that you'll find anywhere. Great minds in the industry. Awesome. And the last thing I'll say is when you sign up, again, use our promo code LAND. And when you sign up, make sure you choose that Mother Flocker tier, because then you unlock something that we call the Fantasy Hotline. It's a direct DM to us for advice. So again, use the promo code LAND. Check out the description. Check out the link that we send in the live chat there. And sign up. Use our promo code. DM us over on Discord, and we'll get all your perks all set up. But that is it for today. We appreciate y'all. Go get a win this week. Good luck. And all love.
All love.